All right, thank you, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for your patience at 6:15. This is the Manhattan Community Board 1 full board meeting for the month. We have a quorum. We're going to start with our public session. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And let's get it rolling. Public session. Mariama, are you in the room? Not yet. Okay, so Justine Kucha signed up to speak in the public session.
I'm waving it.
Well, that's not good because is Karen Loader here? Fantastic, Karen, welcome. Let's stand up. Keep in mind, as all the board members know, the owls in the middle of the room will pick up all the chatter and talk on the sides. And if they hear you on the sides, that means that the owls pick you up and the people online cannot hear the person speaking and presenting.
All the shady stuff.
Yeah, come closer, Karen, welcome.
Hey, I'm Karen Loader. I'm the library manager at the New Amsterdam library. Yeah, I just wanted to come here to introduce myself and get more involved with the community board. As I mentioned, we're super close to here, so if you ever need, that's what we're here for. I guess, just so you know what we do, we just got a new children's librarian recently, so we're really upping the children's programming that we it's still just one person, so just doing as much as you can. We have baby time, other finding well-populated programs that we do. We have vertical discussions. We're really trying to get teams more in the community also. So that's what's happening in Brentwood, Amsterdam. And yeah, I'll be seeing more of you guys in the future.
What's senior?
Senior? Oh yeah, so I actually go to the Greenwich House. That's in Independence Plaza over by City. I do brain games over there. So I love playing games with seniors. We also have the clubs, which we do have the seniors coming to. But if you have any recommendations, language classes, we don't. I used to do a Japanese language class, which I can start doing again. Spanish, that's a good tip. We do have some databases if you're interested in learning. Any other questions?
I haven't gone yet, but I also exchange.
Yes, yeah, thank you for bringing that. Clear first popular brand. Yeah, we have a plant swap, so if you have any plants or clippings, or even if you don't, you could come to our plant swap, pick up some clippings, bring them, swap them around. People come from all over for that. So yeah, please, I will have to look online to see what day that is. I think it's happening in this. I mean, I can't make any promises that anyone will revive it, but you can give it a shot.
Are there any plans to add Sunday hours?
Not at our branch, I would say. They did reinstitute them at all the branches that had them before they took them away. There hasn't been any word on bringing more branches into that yet, though.
Is there a way to influence that since we have such a large youth population?
I mean, I could definitely bring that up. I could definitely bring that up to my managers and see what they have to say about that. Especially if there's a lot of community need, the library wants to respond to that. So I'm happy for that. And I'll let them know I got that feedback.
Fantastic. Anybody else have hands up in the room? Seeing none, looking online, anybody have any questions for our library? Not a librarian, but a library manager.
Exactly, is the library located, if I can?
Oh, yeah. So we're on Murray Street, right between Church and Broadway.
Okay.
Yeah, right across the park, honestly, super short for me from here.
One that chips alone.
Yes, yeah, if you haven't been there since the renovation, we're not orange anymore. We're bright and airy. We have a beautiful exposed ceiling. So check it out just for that.
Okay, you have a movie room too, right?
We do have a community room, yes, where we do our programs.
Yeah, are there movies or like, because didn't you used to show movies?
There did used to be film programming, I
Ah.
believe, before we closed. Right now, we do sometimes have like a movie discussion program
Mhm.
that has not been getting a lot of attendance, unfortunately. So if anyone likes movies, we do have those once in a while. Yeah, exactly.
I'd be happy to share your flyers.
Oh,
with the
great,
community
yeah.
board If you will trade business card with Zach.
Okay.
And we'd be happy to
Oh, that's
help
awesome.
you be more successful and get you into schools if you're not.
Thank you. Yeah, especially with adults, we definitely need a little bit more attendance with the adults, I would say. So yeah.
A lot of us cities out there.
Yes, no, I agree, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if we wanted to do something, if we had an idea, do we just show up at the library and, or ask?
Yeah, feel
Like, if we
free.
want to start a group or something like that, you could give meeting space for
Yeah.
sort of community.
Yeah,
affinity
that's
group.
definitely something that if you stop into the library, you could ask for me. Again, my name is Karen. My email is karenloader@nypl.org. I can write it down for you if you don't remember that. But yeah, always feel free to reach out to me, and we're excited to make more things happen at the branch. So I would like to hear what you guys would like to see.
Thank you. That is awesome. Thank you very much, Karen, for joining us.
Of course, thank you guys.
All righty. Before we move on, I'm gonna leave the public session open for just a sec. Do I have Anthony Hannigan? Anthony, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you guys. So I just wanted to ask about the proposed safe haven shelter at 320 Pearl Street, to see if you guys had any update from DHS or Breaking Ground, to see when they're going to come back and speak again.
We will be inviting them back for January.
Okay.
We have not heard from them anything since our last meeting. Councilmember Mark Day, Community Board 1, we've all made it pretty clear this is not. I mean, Max, do you have anything you can add?
I do have an update I was gonna share. I can do it. now.
Okay. Please do. Anything else before we sit
Okay.
down, Anthony?
I just wanted to ask also if there's anyone here from the Borough President's Office or the Mayor's Office, because we've sent hundreds of emails, letters, and they seem to be falling on deaf ears. We can't get a response from anyone above, basically.
Robin Forst is online. Robin, can you unmute perhaps and get connected with Anthony?
Hi. Hi. Hi there.
Robin.
Hi. Hello, how are you, Anthony?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm Robin Forst. I work in the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs. I'm not sure what communications you're referring to. Opposing the shelter, is that basically the,
I mean, it's pretty involved, so I don't know if you're aware of the proposed safe haven shelter that's at 320 Pearl Street.
I'm very aware of it.
So there's been hundreds of emails that have gone to your, and letters, physical letters, that have gone to your office, and we can't seem to get any response. It would be helpful if someone from the mayor's office were able to attend the meeting with DHS and Breaking Ground when they show up, because they provide pretty empty answers to the community that does not really, it doesn't address our concerns about the children's safety. And so we feel that they're really just trying to push forward their agenda without somebody from the mayor's office or somebody who's looking at the bigger picture to step in and sort of chime in and make sense of the ordeal.
Well, I would have to say that the people from DHS, like all agencies, report to the mayor, and they are aware, of course, of the issues that the community has brought forward over the last several months. I think the fact that they will be there hopefully in January, if they are there, I will be at the meeting. I'm usually at this meeting, but it's held the same night as another community board, so there's a little bit of jockeying around. More than that, I can't really say. I'm aware of the concerns. I myself live downtown. There have been many discussions. DHS has appeared numerous times. And I'm not sure that, I don't know what will happen going forward.
Anthony, who are the letters addressed to?
Every single person. There's been like literally hundreds of people. We've sent it to Mayor Adams, we've sent to deputy, the deputy mayor below him. The name that we were told during the meeting to send it to.
So Robin, it's Pat. If,
I bet.
if they've sent letters directly to the mayor and to the deputy mayor, is there some way for you to contact the deputy mayor at least and see if they've received, it's a she, right? If she's received those letters?
I'm sure letters have been received. They may have been sent to appropriate agencies. I don't know the routing. But if you would like to forward a copy of the letter, it's a little summary, I'll see where I can take it within the
But
administration.
Robin, they said they've sent hundreds of letters.
There's been hundreds of letters. We want someone to physically show up to the next meeting with DHS, somebody that's not from DHS, somebody that is from the mayor's office who doesn't have the sole agenda of pushing forward the safe haven.
So Robin, I think we've been copied on tons of these,
Mhm.
and they are going to many offices at the mayor's office. I think what you're hearing from Anthony is the fact that the agency comes to the meetings. We've had zero response from the mayor's office in terms of a formal response to either, to the concerns. And the response that we did get from DHS does not actually change anything other than further delineating. It's kind of like, yes, but we can target A, B, and, oh, by the way, everybody else if they need it. So it didn't actually change anything. It didn't provide change. And that's one of the reasons that we are desperate to have the mayor's office come and really truly have a conversation with us in terms of public realm, not just the four walls of the real estate deal. And with that, I'm-
I hear what you're saying. I think that, the mayor's office is represented by DHS in this matter, but I will take it back and see if there's anything I can do to see if we can get somebody else there. No promises, I don't know, but I'm happy to try to carry the ball on this a little bit further.
Thank you, we'd appreciate it. Justine is the last comment on this topic.
Thank you so much. And Robin, I just want to be clear that we want the mayor's office to appear at Pat's meeting, at the quality of life meeting, when we can have a robust discussion. And it's not fair to you to expect you to to ask you to give any answers off the cuff in a full board meeting like this, because you've got no background. Yes, you're aware, obviously, but you have no background. So whether it's you or somebody else from the mayor's office, not only we want you to appear, but we'd like to have some meat in your appearance for
Okay.
the mayor's office.
So why
Thank
don't we, Tammy or Zach, why don't we talk offline about the invites that you're going to send for, I presume, the quality of life meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Third Wednesday of
In
the month.
January.
Yeah, but let's see what we can do. Again, Tammy, give me a call, or Zach, we'll see if we can work something out. I don't know, no promises, but I promise to try.
Thank you very, very much.
And I think Ethernet is.
We're gonna do it anyway. All right, Mariana James had signed up as part of New Yorkers Against Congestion Pricing to talk during the public session, but she is not here yet. So we're gonna move on and go to our public hearing, which is the topics are community feedback on public hearing topics for 2025. I mean, part of what we do here on the board is outreach and talking to other people and bringing things inside. We do have people from the general public who do email us and suggest things. We'd like all of you, because I don't have anybody signed up to speak for the public hearing tonight, to ensure that you're talking to your neighbors and your colleagues at work and wherever, and have them send us suggestions, talk to you, talk to us. And let's see, Jared?
We had a primer on the difference between the public session and public hearing session.
We are mandated to have a public hearing. At a public hearing, everyone who signs up to speak on the given topic is required to be allowed to speak. At the public session is a part of the community board where we, on hot topics, often group people. So if there's 50 people, not everybody gets 2 minutes. If there's only 2 people, we give the luxury, like for the library, 4 minutes for her to talk about her programming and then questions and answers from the board. So the public session is really more of controlled by the board. The public hearing is something that we're mandated to do because it's hearing style. And so since I opened the public hearing and have no other comments about the public vote.
You did ask what our neighbors are talking about. One of the things that my neighbors are talking about is, the murder that happened recently on John Street near Fulton.
You didn't
And-
come to quality of life?
No, I did come, but I came too late for that particular topic.
Exactly.
I signed
So
it.
basically, they can't really talk about it because it's under investigation.
Yeah.
And supposedly it was gang members involved, and they're not gangs from our community.
And not race related,
Hmm?
or not, related to, it's not like a hate crime. So there was like a rumor about somebody asking if they speak English.
Right.
Sure.
I think though that people in that section of our community also
They're beefed up, they
recognize.
patrols there.
Yes.
And
And
actually,
Fulton
a group
Center.
of them also went to the First Precinct Community Council meeting, which was really very helpful as well, which was Monday, December 9th.
And I was there also.
Because that's what my neighbors are talking about.
Catch
Yeah.
the person. It was very funny. They catch me.
Yeah, we had a lot of people. And again, it's one of those things that helping your neighbors understand the assets that we have available in the community to speak up, like the First Precinct Community Council, like the community board, 311, so we can track complaints is actually critical to the work that we do, so. Jill?
I don't know if this is the place to make a suggestion, but based on reaching out to the community, is it possible next year to try to have some meetings in the different neighborhoods? That way public can
It's
easily
Like we
come
used to.
to.
We used to do that before it was hybrid. Hybrid has changed the world of how we organize meetings. For example, we used to go to the downtown boathouse right after season week started. And we cannot do that because we have to have a hybrid formula. If we decided that we will not be hybrid for any particular full board meeting and everyone can show up in person and the public will show up in person, then we can certainly go back to fully in person. But setting everything up also involves not only taking it from point A to point B, but ensuring they have robust Wi-Fi, doing a test beforehand. It's not as simple as it used to be. It's definitely possible, but not quite as simple.
We really get good communities, obviously, if it's easy for us to.
But they could come online at any point, no matter where we are. Justine?
So when you're saying it's possible but not easy, for example, if we did the boathouse, perhaps a lot of the people who are not here today could be showing up because we're outside, it's open, whatever.
Can't do it because you can't record it.
No, oh, okay.
Can't
if it's
film it,
or-
can't record it, there's no
I
Wi-Fi.
guess my question is that if it can be recorded and then you can post it to YouTube, is that something we can do twice a year? And I'm throwing it out to you. Is it possible to be flexible or not?
We can certainly look at it. I'd be happy to have a little working group who'd be willing to show up to the community board office and help take everything over, set everything up, break everything down and bring it all back.
Making it sound so appealing.
Well, just remember, we have 3 people who run our office.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work.
4. At some point, we had 5. We have 3. And coming down here is,
That was before hybrid, I'm sure.
Yeah.
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 So it's a lot of equipment to move and the logistics of setting stuff up. Just even doing the meetings downstairs was actually very difficult. And that was still in the building.
there were a couple places that worked well, but it was again, like if you look at DCTV, because we were there more recently than other places, that was a great location and it worked. But at the same time, Onej, who was running all the slides for us and everything, wasn't in the room. She was in a control booth. And the cell phones didn't work for great cell reception because nobody wants you talking in a movie theater. And so to try and reach us in the front of the room and the lighting, it's not necessarily ideal. There are places that do it. And then, of course, the question is the cost,
Yeah.
right? We're not going to spend budget-wise, a couple $1,000s on AV and things like that. It's just not tenable. We are very fortunate to be here. We can certainly look at it for maybe 1 or 2 in 2025. And for those months, I'll take volunteers.
Fair, but 1 or 2 is not bad.
Yep, you can definitely look at it.
DC 37 is high tech now.
Oh, you can see 37, yeah, all right, well, if you got us hooked up there, and we can have everybody walk through the construction zone on Greenwich to get there.
Yeah, right?
Jill? Maybe then on the second part where the board controls the questions, we have the focus for each meeting.
The public hearing is a different focus at every meeting, usually related to topics that we do. The public session is supposed to be based on business before the board. That's what we're
We
trying to.
couldn't have like a Southbridge Mountains or a Southbridge Seaport focus.
You could at a public hearing.
That's what she's saying. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
public hearing.
That's what, yes, that would.
Public hearing. Topics are chosen in advance, send them to me.
Is this on the agenda?
This is, if I hear nothing else for anything else for 2025, we're gonna close down. Do I see anything online? Seeing no hands online, we will close the public session and the public hearing and move on to the business session at 6:37. Let's get our slides up. Give me 1 second. Okay, awesome. Next slide. There we go. Okay, so here we go. This is our little reminder for our in-person attendees. Our elected officials get 6 minutes. In addition to Q&A, our representatives will have 3 minutes. We start at the top with a slightly longer introduction. So we're going to introduce Tevin from Congressman Goldman's office, who we're going to ask to come and sit here. And we will say, hello, welcome to Tevin, and goodbye. Because this is Tevin's last meeting for CB1. He is moving on from Congressman Goldman's office, which is pretty crappy from our standpoint. But, you know, we are very appreciative of the time we've had in our district with us. And with that,
And happy.
yeah, welcome and take us.
I can't say anything else, but thank you so much to all of you. I'll get into that at the end. Just 2 quick updates on my end. First off, happy holidays. You know, it's a busy time. The first thing I want to say is the congressman was on an oversight hearing just the past couple weeks ago about, as many of you know, I was talking to Vicky about this, but the United States Postal Service is crap and how horrible it is. And it is a bipartisan issue. So we are going to definitely be investigating how the administration will be handling that in the future. So please look out for that hearing online. And then the second thing that I just wanted to speak about, or I'm sorry, 2 more things very briefly. The congressman called for an end of year disaster relief funding package that will help housing assistance for disaster survivors. So there's a lot of funding from FEMA and other organizations that will go out to the community. We're calling for an aid package of that. I know many of you have been hearing about the continuing resolution in Congress to fund the government. We're still working on that. Hopefully there is a vote tonight at 6. I have not heard anything differently, but we're working around the clock to get that done. And then secondly, some of you may know, but Congressman Goldman also joined Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and calling for the IRS to expedite some low risk. It's called employee retention tax credits. Maybe some of you have heard of this before.
Yeah.
A lot of small businesses got that during the pandemic, you know, Bob,
Right.
and there's $10 billion. That's very easy, low risk money that can go
Right.
back to our communities and
But
organizations.
it's not been moving.
It's not been moving at all. We have tons of cases.
So
now.
it might stop moving again?
Hopefully, yeah, they've been slowly coming out. On the last note of that, the congressman and the new congressman will be joining, he'll be a co-chair for the House Bipartisan Task Force for anti-Semitism. So please be on the lookout for that information. As Tammy said, and Vice Chair and all of you, you guys have been absolutely phenomenal to work with. My last day was yesterday. I'm still working until January 3rd, but on vacation, headed to Georgia tomorrow. So I'm technically off as of now, but I want to say thank you to all of you. You all are great in your community. spent almost 4 years in government and politics between Senator Brad Hoylman Siegel and now Congressman Goldman. Congressman called me the other day and said he's very thankful for my work, and I'll make an announcement hopefully next week about where I'm going next. But thank you.
Oh, good.
Good.
Any questions for me?
Georgia.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
We're in Georgia because we're all coming.
Get my mom and dad. I know, right?
Yeah,
That- you're-
where?
Remember my home, right?
That's man, home.
Saying they don't, it's only like, she'll love it. I'm from a small town. I don't know if you know Lloyd Austin in the administration right now, the Secretary of Defense, from a small town called Thomasville. So I
Wow.
fly into Tallahassee and then I drive 30 minutes
Oh.
to the very southwest of Georgia. Very interesting.
Interesting is a good word.
Uh,
I just want to say thank you for being a ray of sunshine. You've brought so much joy into every conversation you're in, and we are going to miss you enormously.
Or what I told Kevin, because I do enjoy embarrassing people when they leave, because sometimes they come back. One of the things I wanted to say, so everybody knows, I am exceedingly grateful for Tevin. A relationship with the congressmen are tough. They're tough to make because they're not here. Their offices, they're in DC so much of the time. Tevin, whether we agreed or not, always made me as a chair and a board member feel heard. That is a really complicated thing in government, to have constituency feel heard. And we may not have always agreed with the congressman on things over the years. Most stuff I would say we did, and trying to chase for support. There wasn't a time that Tevin didn't actually either pick it up or send me a note saying, I can't talk now, and send me another time. That is a rare gift for a rep, especially one who's as busy. So I say that in a public environment because I want a person.
Yeah.
So from there, we're moving on. I know Dan is here from Senator Kavanaugh's office, but come on, well, bring your companion. This is actually, for those who have been on the board a long time, this is actually one of the things that I could say, as much as we embarrassed Tevin, and Tevin's leaving, I did the same thing to Emily.
And we came back.
Hey, everybody.
How long?
Emily, I know, Emily and I agreed that I would do this for her sake for the first time. Didn't really expect this to be so emotional with the people coming in and out. I will say that I very much look up to Tevin as a rep and have learned a ton from him, and I'm going to miss him too. That said, this is kind of a bittersweet night. I'm extremely excited to welcome aboard Emily. She is somebody who a lot of you have worked with. She's somebody who is a fierce advocate for people of Lower Manhattan and somebody who I'm very proud to work with. So please welcome her. I know that Tammy's very excited too. She should be. As far as updates, we're gearing up for the 2025 legislative session. I feel like I've talked to so many of you this week about the stuff that we're working on. There's a lot going on, but that's how it should be, right? Keep reaching out to me. There's like almost too many projects that we're already working on to go through right now, but I'll be there, right? So call me. I know that there's a lot going on with the jail. We're scheduling our next meeting for January, but that doesn't mean that we have to wait until then to talk about it, right? So you have my number. I know there's stuff going on with the independent monitor. I know that always a million things. I watched the quality of life meeting last night. I know there's a lot going on with 9A, right? These things not lost to me. I'll be there. And I guess I'll leave it there. I remember that there's a time limit. Thanks, Mimi. And then, yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
Questions around the room?
Just want to say
Justine.
welcome back, Emily. Nice to
Yay.
have you. Good, thank you.
Wonderful.
All right, anybody else? Great. If you think you have things that you do want for Dan and it's going to be a topic that you want to discuss with the board, please make sure you copy Zach, so we can make sure it gets on committees and we don't lose.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy hours.
All righty. moving on, we'll go to Assembly, Lily is here from Assemblymember Glick's office.
Hi, hello, everybody. I don't know if this is the right table to sit on, but it's fine.
Okay.
Anita from Assemblymember Deborah Glick's office. I was a fellow last year and now I'm staff, so you might see me around. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not super exciting news, honestly, just disappointment. Two bills that Deborah put in, Local Input in Community Healthcare Act, that was vetoed by the governor. I don't know if you guys know, there have been hospitals in downtown Manhattan throughout the state that are closing. And instead of having the community input like they should, they've been moving ahead with these plans. So that was a huge disappointment that the future hospitals might not be protected. And the other one, you guys might not know so much about, it's Horseshoe Crab Preservation. She's in the environmental committee, so they've been around since dinosaurs were around, and having their species is incredibly important because other species rely on them for their existence. So once they're gone, it's just gonna be a ripple effect for our ecosystem. So.
And humans do too, because their blood is useful.
Yes, it was,
yeah.
it was being
So
used
what,
for.
what was in the legislation?
The legislation was to ban the use of taking them, which means killing them, for pharmaceutical testing.
Wow.
Yeah, because we have there's like a substitute now that they've created that they can use instead, and they're done now. So. Sorry for the sad news,
Except
but
on the island, when I was a kid, it was all over the place.
and the board report is at the desk if you guys want. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Any questions for Deborah Glick's office? Alrighty, fantastic.
Okay.
I don't think I see anybody from some. Let me look online, make sure. Must be something before, as they say. I don't think so, nor Assemblymember Fall had his holiday party today out in Staten Island, I suspect. Alrighty, that brings us to Robin. Robin, you ready to go?
I'm ready. Hi, everybody, again. I don't know why it's, yeah, hi. I actually want to say a special goodbye to Tevin. It's been a pleasure working with him also. And we look forward to hearing what his next move is. Emily, lovely to see you back, reunion. And beyond that, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays and look for all, and looking forward to a happy, healthy, and wonderful 2025. So with that, I will wish you all well and see you in January.
Alrighty, Max. I assume there's no questions for Robin at this point. Okay, Max, take us home. Come on up.
Cool, where should I stand? Over here?
Oh, sure, so you can be seen.
Cool. Hi, everyone. I'm Max Deutsch from Councilmember Christopher Marte's office. So I'll start. First update, what I was going to mention when Anthony was here, and I made sure to let him know, is that Councilmember Marte and Assemblymember Lee did send a letter to the Commissioner of DSS regarding the 320 Pearl Street Safe Haven, both in response to the letter, the proposals they had made and the last Quality of Life Committee meeting. And they reiterated just again their opposition to a safe haven at the site and just the argument against the arguments that were made by DSS at the last Quality of Life Committee meeting. And so again, this is an update that's less than an hour old, is that they just got now scheduled a meeting with the DSS commissioner about it, I think first or second week of January. So we will have, some updates on that in the new year. And then we are working with the Mayor's Office of Climate and Environmental Justice on a district-wide Local Law 97 info session for property owners. So if you're not aware, Local Law 97 requires, sets carbon emission reduction rates or carbon emission reduction goals for all buildings over 25,000 square feet in the city. And so we'll be working with the New York City Accelerator Program, which will provide property owners with advice, financial aid, assistance, kind of anything you might need. It'll be with Con Ed, NYSERDA, again, anything property owners might need to help comply with the law. They told us actually that 92% of buildings in our district are already in compliance with the current goal. So, and that's, they said that's pretty high above the average. So we're doing really well so far. Right, so if you're a property owner, if you know if your building needs help getting in compliance, reach out to us because it's looking like probably sometime in March is when we'll have that, but we want to make sure we can get the word out early. And then onto land use update. So as I'm sure you know, the city of Yes for Housing Opportunity passed the council earlier this month. 31 in favor and 20 opposed. Councilmember Marte was very engaged in the process, advocating for changes that would have required deeper affordability, contextual development, and better community oversight over land use actions. Ultimately, almost none of his recommendations were addressed, and the risk of further speculation and displacement as part of his plan we felt was just far too high. So the councilmember did vote no on this. And again, feel free to call our office and ask to speak with our land use director, Connor, if you have any kind of want to talk about it more in depth and have any questions. And then on legislation, just one kind of only one legislation. You probably have heard, I've mentioned it many times here already, that the councilmember introduced Introduction 1096 to protect municipal retirees to prevent the mayor's plan to put them onto Medicare Advantage. So this month, the councilmember published an op-ed in AM New York criticizing this plan. He also, we wrote a letter that was signed by 26 state elected officials that was sent to the entire council, calling on the council to pass our legislation. So we're very grateful for those state legislators who signed that. And we've already heard from council members who are feeling the pressure now from both their constituents and their state representatives. So again, we're encouraged by that. And just last thing on that, retirees have sued the mayor and the city for this plan. You might have heard they won in the highest court in New York, the Court of Appeals. They won for the 11th time. And Councilmember Marte was proud to join them in their press conference to celebrate the victory. And despite their now 11th victory, the mayor has said he's still going to do whatever he can to put retirees onto Medicare Advantage. And so we still believe our legislation is crucial. And so, again, I think probably everyone here is a constituent of ours, so you don't have to call us. But if you know people who are constituents of other districts, make sure to call council members and urge them to sign on. And with that, happy holidays, I think.
Yeah. Justine.
So thank you so much for everything. I have a question going to local law 97 and the connections. So when you said like a large portion of the people are in compliance with the rules as of today, that's just a reporting requirement. That's local law 87. 97 comes due in 2030. And that's the meat of it, where
we're at 42% for 2030.
That's harder. And so I guess it's good to catch up to people to get them to report, because once they do, then there's no fine whatsoever. But there's a huge cost to different buildings, and part of what building condo boards, for example, but I'm going to assume landlords too, rental buildings, paying for the repairs is difficult. Try to find reasonable and affordable and economies of scale and getting buildings to work together. And that would be really helpful if we're asking the Battery Park City Homeowners Coalition, not the board. The Homeowners Coalition is asking the Battery Park City Authority to come be a force for us to get the people of Battery Park City, the condos of Battery Park City, to work together to see how, if everybody has to buy a new PTAC unit, let's not just buy one building's PTAC unit, let's buy all buildings' PTAC units, or whatever, because not everybody's gonna do it. And if the council members, if your office can also focus on how to pay for it.
Yeah, and that's what
Yes, you need this, because NYSERDA doesn't tell you.
Yes,
I'll just
but this is what the accelerator program, and so they're there, and in the meeting they explained, right, every building is different, so one info session is not gonna answer it for
Correct.
everyone. But they're there to kind of meet all the property owners and, the co-op boards, so that they can work individually with each building to help them with the financing and figure out what options are there.
And I guess part of it too would maybe be a force to put buildings together, in neighborhoods. Obviously, you're not gonna go from here to, Harlem and put a building together, that's too far. But within a district.
Yeah, and that's why, the mayor's office has been working with council members for buildings in their district, so we can do it that way to make sure that everyone in the district, all the property owners can get
They
together.
can get together, and talk to each other. That's good, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Anybody else for Max? Hearing and seeing nobody, thank you very much, Max, and we look forward to a rather robust 25. All right. With that, Peter is here is Peter still here?
No.
District. Okay. Peter was here from the district attorney's office. We appreciate that he shows up fairly robustly to our meetings.
Came early.
Yeah. We like it early. And with that, we're going to close the updates from the electeds and move on to Zach's district manager report.
What?
Slide there. Okay, so on Tuesday, we went to there was a meeting for the West Side Highway study. This is going to be a long-term study, ending in 2026. If you go to the report, you can click on it and you can see the deck that they presented at the meeting. It's broken down into phases, with the first phase is studying existing conditions, second phase studying concept development, going through summer of next year, third phase concept refinement, through spring of 26, and then concept recommendations winter of 2026. So in that first phase, existing conditions, they're gonna do a walkthrough of the different sections, and if you want to sign up to join the walkthrough, you can. And there's the link in the QR code there. Next slide.
Could you just
How do we get-
explain, Zach, could you?
How do you do?
See that QR
Use your
code.
phone.
Picture, if not, email Zach and we'll get you in there.
Everybody sent the presentation.
Sorry. Zach, Zach, could you just explain exactly what the purpose of the study?
I'm happy to. Because the study is for different forms of transportation, mobility, and safety along the 9A corridor from the Battery to 59th Street. So they broke out into sections, 4 different sections for the walking tours. There's no presupposed answer. There were questions raised about resiliency, around bus stops, around getting e-bikes and micro transit off of the greenway and the sidewalks. There was a letter that was signed with the borough president and the boards, HRPT, community boards 1, 2, and 4. So there's been a lot of advocacy for change on 9A. And this is New York State DOT coming back and putting together groups of stakeholders into the space to really have a nice, robust discussion. Everybody from, our goal is also to help them ensure that they reach the school communities and the kids communities, because that's a large number of users who cross back and forth that are not necessarily represented by the large organizations that have offices or land along the way. So that answers the question. And
Next slide.
Laura has her hand up. Laura?
Yeah, thank you, Tammy. So when the state presented that study and I asked about were they doing pedestrian counts and bicycle counts, they were really vague about it, and that was disturbing. So I would really like to see what the scope of work is for that study.
They don't have the scope yet. That's why this is the input session for the final scope, I believe.
But they've already engaged an engineering firm to do the work.
Alice?
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Laura. I hope you're going to join the committee in some form or attend the meetings continually, because your voice is incredibly important on it. And a lot of the issues you've raised about resiliency, looking at 9A more holistically about ways to make it more resilient to avoid the Army Corps marching walls, that will be really important. So I'm glad you're paying attention. That's all.
Well, thank you, Alice. I mean, can we ask them to review the scope of work?
Yeah, we're happy to ask. We're asking, just email Zach, whatever questions you want to ask, we'll make sure that they get through as part of the input session. Again, take a look at the westsidestudy.com, westsidehighwaystudy.com, and sign up and put stuff directly in there as well.
In fact, they're soliciting answers to questions rather. So
Right.
this is the time to do it. Oh, you have it up there, questions, whatever. Yeah.
Their email address is up there. You can email them any question on this, westsidehighway@dot.ny.gov. But if you want to push it to the.
And my second question is, are they interfacing with the Battery Park City the North End Resilience Project? Because I've heard that they may be reducing there may be pylons instead of flip up gates. There may be like gates that open that have to have heavy duty, like floodgates that have to have heavy duty piers. that would then make the median wider, and there's gonna be changes from that. So like, is that all being integrated into one?
You need to
as
go to
one
the
study?
meetings, Laura. Laura, send your questions through the meeting links and through the emails.
We've asked it and we made very clear at this last meeting that the BPCA has to have a sort of real presence in terms of engineering, not just somebody representing them. So yes, we're trying to get that to happen and it's really important. You're absolutely right.
Okay, any other questions? Everybody's
That's it for me. Thanks.
fantastic. Zach, keep going.
I believe, Lucy, we send the PowerPoint around at some point, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. We send this around so you can access it if you didn't get it. Okay, the MTA asked us to push out some exemptions for congestion pricing, so I am doing that at their request. There is a low income discount exemption and a low income tax credit for residents exemption and a disability exemption. And that is for individuals with disabilities or a relative or caregiver for their vehicle too. You can learn more about that on the website. Question?
Are you able to push back into them that a low income tax exemption is kind of classist and racist? A lot of people that are low income do not file return, so it's inappropriate. But thanks for trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Next is, there's a trash academy from the, New York City, Trash Academy. It's a nonprofit, the Sanitation Foundation. And so if you're into infrastructure, including garbage, you can sign up for this academy and it runs, from January to, March, and they have different sessions and it'll totally get you up to speed on everything garbage in the city, which I find, I'm an infrastructure junkie, so I'm interested.
I am too.
Next.
What's environmental?
Okay, website. So we are still making progress on the website and OTI has been getting all of our stuff together finally, and we should launch next year. So just giving you a preview for that, and it will be coming very soon. And just some scheduling changes for next month. The office is obviously closed for the 1st and for the 20th. For New Year and MLK, and some committee changes, No Battery Park City Committee and Transportation Committee is Tuesday the 7th, Environmental is Thursday the 16th, Executive is the 23rd, Thursday, and the full board is Tuesday the 28th. And that is it for me.
Otherwise, the committees are the same?
Yeah.
Is the BPC joining
The BPCA will not be ready with the final environmental impact statement for January.
Yeah.
So we're not having a meeting, we're not joining them.
Because they're not gonna be discussing.
Oh, so we're just not having a meeting. Okay, great to know. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, but the plan was to do a joint
Yeah.
with environmental and have BPCA give their FEIS, but they're not gonna be ready for that meeting, so we're looking for February.
But that said, you should go to environmental and tell you why I'm there.
Yeah.
For those who do not know yet, Paul Hovitz, longtime board member, passed away a couple of weeks on Sunday. There is a memorial service by his family on the 22nd, and it'd be lovely if he could attend. I can honestly say that many of us would not be living here or be on this board without Paul Hovitz, his activism, his positivity, his candy. And I mean, for me, it was all about the schools. My kids have a place to go to school because he was always there and fierce. And there were so many things, whether you agreed with him or not on positions, didn't make a difference. He didn't hold a grudge on it. He just kept pursuing his point, which I think was a beautiful example of what a board member can do. So, if you have time, please, I'll see you on Saturday.
Sunday.
Sunday.
And Denise would appreciate it if people responded, because it's a very small space. If you're
Is there a
putting.
place to respond?
Yes, it was the email that I sent out. The email announcement, the email.
But she'd like to know if you comment.
Thank you.
Okay. Diversity is our strength. So I want to say thank you for a great 2024. We have a lot of differing opinions on this board, which actually makes it really robust and fun. It may be a challenge on some days, but it really is our greatest strength. So I want to say thank you. My board member challenge for everybody who stays on our board and remains with us for 2025, step in, step up, and encourage or ask a friend to participate in the meeting. It is great when people tell you things. It's even better when they come to the meeting and speak for themselves. That goes for everything from youth and ed to licensing, to environmental, to homeowners coalitions, to landmarks. If people want to say something with virtual participation, you could still cook dinner at home and participate. So I really would hope that you encourage us. That's how we get new blood, and we will be running out of our old blood soon. So make sure we talk to people. It's been busy. I want to thank Betty for walking me home from the DOT meeting that we were at, state DOT. We had a lot of fun on our walk home, including watching the ticket sellers standing in the road, pulling cars through red lights and across traffic. I have beautiful video. Oh, it was fantastic. So, of course, Betty and I got yelled at on the way. Why are you taking pictures? I'm doing my job. I said, you know what? Funny, I'm the chair of the board. I'm doing mine too. So it was an interesting walk home. But on the other hand, on a lovely other night, you could go over to the seaport and see the beautiful boats and the ships, and it's a lovely thing. At Borough Board today, I'm not going to go over all the meetings, but at Borough Board today, we had the Office of Nightlife come and speak about Mend and Cure. We gave them a little bit more feedback on that, and LPC gave a presentation that I'm asking them to come to CB1 to do a presentation at the LPC committee. There were questions that were still unanswered, which I think were very pertinent about the purview of what they look at versus what the commissioners look at versus what the public is looking at. And so I think it's really good for everybody to understand not just our expert team on landmarks, but to have everybody come and have them do a real presentation. So you understand, in case anybody decides that in 2025, they really want to go to landmarks. Okay, next slide.
When are they coming?
All 12 boards at the meeting asked for the same thing, so it'll be a race. So we'll find out.
My money's on you.
Yeah.
What was the December County Cobblestone?
So Laura Starr there's a cobblestone project that's being worked on over on Front Street, and Laura Starr has been going for the board to check out the cobblestones because that's the agreement we have with the CCL over there. And it's been wonderful because she takes their report, writes it up, and she has sent it back. For example, the last report that I saw, she gently told them they needed to redo it because the crosswalks weren't even and level, and the places where they were supposed to be flat with the different tiles weren't done placed properly. And so her feedback and expertise on that's actually been really great to try and get something, especially on Front, because Front is a very difficult street with the subsurface. So she's been out there a couple times and I'm appreciative. If anybody else wants to go around and do stuff like that, again, step up, volunteer, let us know. All right. Starlight Star Bright, it goes through January 9th. If you want to get more information from the Downtown Alliance website, it's kind of cool. You can go get blank wishes or pre-printed, and then you put them over by the star structure. Thought it was a neat way to get people out supporting local businesses and wandering Lower Manhattan. So if you have friends and family visiting, please go out. Starlight Star Bright. Next. 2025. It is a roar. Congestion pricing starts, as Zach was talking about. Friday Seaport Master Plan is going to come back this time with a design presentation. Alice and I have been talking about that, including Pier 19, question mark, changes for Pier 15, as in disappearing, Pier 6 and the Coast Guard site. It is really important that everybody comes and hears what they have to say. The Battery Maritime Building has promised that they'll come and talk about their public access agreement in January. Yeah.
Which committee is that? Sorry.
That's Cipriani Midtown Equities, as operated by EDC.
Having a quality line.
Yeah, we did ask CUCS because we do have a cab for the Washington Street shelter, which is great. But the cab is not a public meeting, it's a small group. So we've asked them to come and report on the odd months that there is no cab at the community board to give us updates, which would be great because the board had a lot of positive encouragement for them. And 48% of, I think was the last number that I saw, of a full shelter is sub 14th Street clients, which is a little confusing for it supposedly being a priority for Lower Manhattan, but I'm gonna not speak for them and let them come and explain all of those things. All righty. BPCA notified us, I think they spoke to Zach yesterday saying that they'd want to come for February. We did reach out. Tomorrow you'll get an email for the whole board from the FDNY, who in July of 2024 did variances for outdoor dining on narrow streets. We understand there will be potentially more rule change in 2025, but anything that comes before us, if it comes with the variance, is going under the July 2024 rules. So we're distributing them to the full board so everybody has that information. You'll get that tomorrow. We are looking for a potluck to do, a great space that everybody can bring something and have it be a lot more warm and fun and chill. We need some volunteers who can find us a space. We tried Bob's, but the dates didn't work. So we're looking, if you have suggestions, if you're willing to be helpful. The office will do a spreadsheet. That's not going to be the hard thing. It's just about helping us find a space that.
Do you have dates? What dates are you talking about?
We were talking about,
We'll send out.
we'll send out dates.
Okay.
I'll send that out. And then last, I'm not sure if everybody saw the announcement, Pier 17 is going to be closed during the winters, beginning late 2025. And so there'll be year-round concerts at Pier 25. And for those of you who were here when we looked at this and declined the glass structure in the beginning, it was approved by LTC at some point and did not come before the board. Okay,
The whole pier or just part of
the
it?
roof,
The whole roof?
whole roof, except for the public area, which is outlet bulb.
And did we,
But
so we still don't have it clear about access to the bathroom during the concert.
Just told Jimmy Bush.
Correct. And we did invite Seaport Entertainment to come and talk to us and give us some more of a quarterly update. So that would be great. Because yes, there still are no public bathrooms.
Where are they not public?
No, just that one.
During concerts.
One in the gym.
They lock the public bathrooms for the.
All those big bathrooms, they lock them.
They lock.
A lot of bathrooms. though.
They lock the public access from downstairs.
I got it.
You can only get there from the concert.
I got it.
Alrighty, so as a reminder, we pioneered this last month. It worked super well. We got out pretty early last month. The goal this month is out by 9. Trying to get towards that 8:30 thing, just so you know. Committee reports without resolutions are 2 minutes a topic, 6 minutes total. Please focus on highlights and summaries. We have all the committee videos. If you want to know more, I encourage you, on the treadmill, in a car, on the subway, tune into YouTube and listen to all the fabulous details. Resolution protocols. Drafts are due to the office no less than 24 hours prior to full board meeting. If there are changes needed afterwards, which you will see tonight, a really good example on one of the licensing ones, it'll be highlighted on the draft and reviewed here because it just needed more cleanup. It did. Alrighty, and we got more information at the last minute. If your committee meeting is in the first 2 weeks of the month, you've got a week, just get everything to the board, the slides that you want and everything else, and then enjoy your week off. And for all board members, please read materials before you get to the meeting. And thank you. With that, let's get rocking.
We need to do
Jason?
a vote, don't we, for the minutes?
Oh, minutes. That's your first roll call.
Take it.
Also, turn off your phones, I don't wanna hear sounds.
No one calls me.
Amoruso. Blank.
Blank here.
Yes. Brown Kennedy.
Yes.
Cameron.
Cameron, yes.
Thank you. Cassell.
So, yes.
Thank you. Chang.
Jen, yes.
Thank you. Chapman.
Yeah.
Thank you. Charcudian.
Charcudian, yes.
Thank you. Pullman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Kucha.
Kusia, yes.
Thank you. Curtis.
Curtis, yes.
Thank you. Airman. Flores.
Flores, yes.
Thank you. Flynn, yes. Forsberg.
Woodward, yes.
Thank you. Friedman.
Yes.
Thank you. Broman. Galloway.
Galloway, yes.
Thank you. Goldstein.
Yes.
Goodkind. Thank you. Hernandez.
I thought I did.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we'll come back for him.
Urshad.
Rashad, yes.
Thank you. James.
James.
Thank you. Joyce.
Don't think so.
Okay. Thanks. Canal. Lerner.
Lerner, yes.
Lyon.
Lyon, yes.
Melter.
Melter, yes.
Thank you. Minsley.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Moore.
More, yes.
Thank you. Andia.
Here.
Cole.
Yes.
Portia Corey. Thank you. Robinson.
Robinson, yes.
Thank you. Scott.
It's not off.
Shear. Thank you. Star.
Sorry, yes.
Jimmy Song. Sarah Song. Terry. Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you. Townley.
Yes.
You. Melter.
Yes.
Thank you. It passed. Yes, please.
All right, awesome. Jason, where are you?
I think he's doing this one, right?
Awesome. Mickey, take us home.
Really have today, an opportunity to reread the section on the mission and landmarks preservation commission, which is the body that we send our thoughts and recommendations and concerns to. And just great to hear these words again, because I think it's important. That we always try to stay on topic if we want to be helpful. So what is LPC's mission? You know, it's a long story, but basically it's protection and preservation. To protect and to preserve the heritage of the city and its special characters. Factors of aesthetic, cultural, historical, and architectural values. Apparently blocking someone's view is not in their purview. So.
Neither is change of use.
Sorry?
They said they don't care what they use the buildings.
That's right. Use that kind of stuff. So this is 112, 114 Chamber Street. And we I can give you just a summary of how we derived to our comments, and essentially these were built as two separate four-story brick townhouses, and now the program is to merge these lots, right? Take down the interior partitions and the party wall, combine this into a single unit. Commercial on the ground floor, residential above, a rooftop addition with a stair bulkhead and an elevator bulkhead. And I started with this slide, because, after we review just what I told you, and I will show you that in a few slides coming up, the problem that the committee had was that if this is now a single building, we didn't think that the recommended design expressed either an idea of a single building or two separate buildings. For example, if you read this, it looks like it belongs to one building. But as you can see, it's lopsided, right? And then here you have two cornices. So is it one building or another building? And there will be other examples. So if we can go to the next slide, this is the front street. As you can tell, this is what we're talking about. What is that? What is Chamber Street, right? There's the lawn. And Bruce reminded us this was also long in the making. We've had this whole area under review for a long time. Next slide.
The shoe store.
And as you can tell, so this is the historical photo, right? And you see, I think that originally, well, there were two separate buildings, right? So you see the readings are different, right? Here, this building is in harmony with itself. But when you use this expression, final comment, we did not think that was reflective.
Is this what it looks like today and on the left?
No.
Yeah, no, on the left.
I'm getting there.
Oh.
That's it.
Or it's for you to come with me, otherwise we'll be off page.
That's it.
Anyway, so this is the tax law, and this reading is very much informative of the architect. Oh, excuse
They're
me.
gonna take it down? No, right.
This reading is very much informative to the design that the architect is proposing, saying that he has a historical reference there. And this is what it looks like now, obviously in pretty bad shape. And I think I might have or not, but these might actually be lost at this point. The gates are there. There's nothing behind it. So.
Vicki, it's a gut rehab? It's inside, it's a gut rehab?
It's a gut rehab and it's a merger of the lots. So
Of the
now
two,
we've
of
got
the two
one-
buildings, of the two buildings.
One house, this is a residential one unit.
So it's 112 and 114, and once you merge the lots, it
understand
will
that.
become one.
It's multi,
Multi-unit.
So,
it's a big
this is
project.
the examples of the rear facade. I thought I explained, ground floor was commercial or residential with the roof.
I don't know.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
I knew that as a shoe store guy.
So, just again, I'm thinking if you just come with me for this, it's a long presentation. So this is the existing rear facade, and there are several brick types, therefore different brick colors. The shutters are in pretty good shape. And I did forget to say, but it is in here immediately, that LPC actually reviewed and approved this project in 2007. And so they had a bunch of extensions ever since, but now it's coming back for a review again as that application expired. And this is a precedent that the architect used where the rear facade, to avoid all the multicolored bricks, as you can see, this kind of mess, they stuck on the facade. And so our project has that same proposal going forward. Let's go forward.
Good job.
And this is the existing condition, right? So most of this is now gone, it deteriorated. And this is what it looks like at the moment in the second floor, on the front facade of Chambers. Next. Now I take you back to this facade again, because we're showing there is a rooftop addition. So all of this is commercial. This is all residential, in spite of the fact that this reading. You have a rooftop addition, and then you have broken and stair. The next slide.
So they're adding a floor.
They're adding a rooftop, more residential.
This is one family, one?
No.
Multi-apartments. How many?
Girls, one family, not.
Well, hey.
That's true, no. This is the rear facade, so you see that they have a variety of windows and locations. And the proposal here was approved and is still being held, but the rear windows will be changed to aluminum. And if you go to the next slide, this is what it will look like with the stucco that evens out the facade. This is the new rooftop addition of residential up there. So I don't know if it's 2 units, 1 unit, 3, and then stair and elevator bulkhead. And left over from the previous approval is that Landmarks requested that these windows also have shutters as a sort of historical archaeological reference to shutters being there. And I'm sorry, in the past, I didn't have that before. Shutters downstairs. The back, there's new rooftop in the rear facade. Right, but there weren't shutters there.
Hey, no comments. Let her keep going.
This is all shutters, as you recall. So the history, the language, the design is there. They were just saying that they were in pretty bad shape, they deteriorated, they could be taken down, and now we're going to make that reference here. LPC apparently said that. We went along with it. Our concern, if you read the resolution, and we're strongly in favor of this, is that at this level, when the rooftop gets added, right, at the moment, it's flush with the existing wall, right? And we were asking to have a setback so that we leave an archaeological footprint saying that up to here, this was the existing building, but here it sets back, maybe a brick or something wide, and then the wall continues, so that we always know that this came first, that came second. Next.
Yeah.
No,
we're done, right? Sure, we're over time.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
over.
my God.
This is
Done.
This is also being held over, no?
Yeah, we're voting in January.
No, we're voting now.
Well, we're voting again in January.
We'll vote again if they bring in a different design.
Right.
So, I'm gonna finish if you
There you go.
okay?
Yep, we're good.
If you all read the resolution, based on our discussion with the architect, this was an awful lot of time, effort, and money spent on behalf of the owners. We did have a discussion with them about choosing either to go with a single building or 2 separate buildings in their front design, consider these rear addition changes. They agreed. They will review their design and will be coming back in January.
So,
Terrific. We couldn't ask for better, right?
so do I have somebody who's willing to call the question?
I call the question.
Oh,
Second.
it's called and seconded.
Third.
We're not in the room.
I had
For
a
the-
question.
Oh,
Sorry. I don't understand the whereas, I mean, the therefore be it resolved. They're coming back to do what? And
Based on the discussion.
and they've agreed to come back, right?
Pardon?
They've agreed to come.
They have agreed to go back to their boards, review the several design changes that we requested, the ground floor, right? To redesign that, to either look like one building or 2 separate, but not that sort of, read that they have now, and to change the back facade to have a step back. They have agreed to review that and redesign and come back.
it's all in here.
No, I
And then-
can read the language, but.
But it was already called and it was
Well,
already
I had my
seconded.
hand up.
I get it, but,
I-
right?
Okay.
I didn't see your hand up
That's
before
okay,
it was
that's
called
okay.
and seconded.
I'm done with all we have to do.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're voting on this and sending this to LBC today. We hope that they do come back. If they don't come back, then we have our position on file.
Right.
Now, it was called, it was seconded. If you were not in the room for the first vote, you must call out your name.
Is it? This big.
You, yes.
Okay, it's a vote by affirmation. And so assuming everybody yes, are there any abstentions?
I wish I.
I abstain.
Go. Are there any no's?
Please for the.
Galloway abstain. You're no.
Okay, right. Are there any other no's? Hearing no more no's and no more abstentions. And Vera refuses. Thank you.
Good day.
Are there any other refusals? Okay, perfect. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Next.
That's a license.
Waterfront. Andrew, is it you or is it Bob?
I'm gonna do the report. If anyone has anything to add, they should. We spent much of the meeting discussing Brooklyn Bridge Arch project, and we got a very good report. We heard from Gotham Park, and Rosa was there, and she reported on all the activities and all the programs that her organization is sponsoring. And we also had at the meeting Ed Picker, and he was one of the people, who participates in this working group, and he is the Manhattan Borough Transportation Commissioner. So he gave us an update on a lot of things. They established this working group here, and if people would like to join the advisory council that's related to this, they should give their names to the community board office, please. And why don't you go to the next slide and we'll see what's coming up. Here is, they already started on some of the areas called the small banks. So the small banks are 1A, 1B, and they also completed some work on the actual, what are they called? Those areas underneath the bridge that are being improved.
Arches.
Thank you.
The arches.
Yes. So this area number 6 there's the arches. So they finally finished the work there. We talked about whether that would possibly be opened into a space for the community. They seem very non-committal about that. And they talked about upcoming events that they're going to sponsor, a Lunar New Year event in February and a block party in May. They have already Zumba, yoga, and pickleball programs. Their goals overall are to add more space and more plantings. And that's certainly part of the plan. They have opened at this stage 40,000 square feet of what's called the small plaza. And then a much larger space is going to be devoted. But I should point out an important thing that was mentioned at the meeting is they have asked for funding from the United States Department of Transportation. So perhaps our member of Congress can look at that and take a look and be supportive. And that would not only help to open red brick big banks, but also pay for additional plaza and pedestrian safety improvements. I think I'll leave it at that for the Brooklyn banks. And now we'll go to Governor's Island, where we just had a brief report. Basically, the highlights are that they are open during the winter. They have the ferry running every day, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. They have, service, $5 round trip. Obviously, you could still use all the outside grounds, but, it's just limited by the weather. But they do highlight that they have open space, they have the dog days, and food is available for people who come to Governor's Island, and the arts and cultural programs are also mainly open. Those are indoor spaces. Here you see some of the other projects that they're working on. They're listed here. The climate exchange, of course, is the big one. We're going to hear more about that soon. They're continuing work on that. And the other project, a spa, is being expanded. And the Harbor School is also in for an expansion. 2027, that should be completed. And the highlight of that will be a new swimming pool. And I just want to make a couple of remarks about Paul Hovett, who I was very close to. Of course, he was on the board for, longer than almost anyone. Paul and I were from Southbridge Towers. We were neighbors. We both have children of the same age. And I actually encouraged Paul. I talked to him about what I did at the community board at that point. He was very interested, and I think that motivated him to join the board. I should point out that at that point, this community board was made up of primarily business people. We had very few residents, so it was good to get a person with a family and children. And at that time, we had no schools, no libraries, no open space. We had, so little of what we consider so key to Lower Manhattan. Now, Paul didn't obviously do all this himself, but he played a big role, and I just want to thank him and say we were all fortunate to have his leadership for those things. And Bob Townley, of course, had him as a board member, and he was very encouraging in building the indoor recreation center. So we had no sports leagues. We didn't have any of that. But enough said. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Well done, Paul.
Yeah. All righty, let's move along to licensing. And Lucy, thank you so much for the photos for licensing. You gotta have a sense of humor. So Francis and I are gonna roll through this together, because, Susan couldn't be with us tonight. We wish her a speedy recovery, and let's keep going. Okay, cannabis, 3D6 Canal. Does anybody have any questions? If you do remember, we approved a different application for this location, but they are not taking the space.
Sorry, I should have.
Question.
Yeah. It seems to be adjacent to what was once an illegal cannabis, which is by Back and Beyond, Bud and Beyond. So
they're taking that space, the pink one, the pink building.
they're taking Bud and Beyond. Well, what's indicated in their address is around the corner on Canal. Bud and Beyond is on West Broadway. So you're sure that's not too.
It's the same building numbers, but they're interchangeable by the landlord, yeah.
So it's not two spaces within that lot, that's separate, those are two, one's a restaurant and one concession, okay.
Any other questions? Okay. So,
Why didn't the other people be like so much at the spot or whatever, like?
The rent went up.
What?
They have a lease.
Issues with the lease. Wait, weren't they supposed to have a signed lease before they even came to us?
They come with conditional leases, and once they get approved, then they finalize the lease, but if the lease goes up, I'm not. Okay, let's keep going, that is my only cannabis for the day.
Yeah.
Except for, didn't we vote, and don't we have to vote on the ones that we?
The ones that withdrew, because the three that were combined together, they sent us a letter, they withdrew it all. We sent that notification of a full withdrawal, so we don't have to vote, up to, OCM. Okay, I can group some of this, but not all of it. So if, let's just do cannabis in general. Okay, this is a vote by affirmation. So are there any no's?
Lerner, no. Townley, no.
No's? Are there any other no's?
I know, but I'm also not convinced about the location when it shows it's the Pokeball restaurant.
You can take a look online at the presentation that they showed and the actual land.
Well, the address then is incorrect, so if there's something that's wrong, but.
So you're a no?
I'm an abstention, it doesn't, there's not,
Are you an
there is
abstention
an
or a no?
inaccuracy in the application, and I am an abstain.
Okay, good. Okay, is there anybody else who's in abstention?
Sure.
That's two others in abstention. Shear and Brown Kennedy abstains. Okay, anybody else online? Fantastic. Are there any recusals? All right, so motion passes. Thank you very much for 386 Canal. We're just going to go down in order. Please note that we can group some, but not all.
Okay.
We should have, let's just hit Maxwell's because it was the most, robust. So you have a revised resolution that has highlights in it. And the highlights are based on, that's right?
Yeah.
The highlights are based on changes that came in post-meeting, and responses back from the applicant, as well as the Department of Building. So, and there were clarity edits done. Okay, this is unusual for Community Board 1 to do something that is this intense. So please make sure you've read it, and I'm entertaining questions. Jen was first and then Jess.
The whereas, that states the community board, while acknowledging that the SLA did not deny license renewals. I mean, I'm not on the licensing committee, but why have a renewal if you never, I mean, what's the point of a renewal application if they are never denied?
It's a policy that they have, that if you'd like to adjust the wording, I have no troubles. We actually sought the SLA's guidance on this. So we can say does not usually deny.
Maybe usually. 'cause
Yes,
that's-
yes,
Sometimes they must, right?
Yeah.
No.
No.
As a matter of policy, they are so far behind, they just usually go stamp, 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 unless there is a history and record and it goes through enforcement. So if their renewal is delayed through because of enforcement issues, then that is something else that.
Okay,
But
so
I'm
if you could
happy to-
insert usually between deny and license.
Absolutely. Anything else, Jeff?
No.
Jess Holman,
Yeah, I was at because they came 2 months in a row, right? So
Three.
Okay, so I think I was at the second one, and if I recall, like, I just want to know how many community members are we talking about when we're mentioning members of the community? Because I recall it being like 3.
it's in here, and you were not in the last one,
I
when the
was not.
neighbors down the street came.
Okay.
So that, added to it, plus we have other letters, plus there were 311 complaints.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then, on the soundproofing, it seems like they have offered to spend a substantial amount on soundproofing, and the response to that is basically, they don't want to do it because, the residents don't want to do it because it'll encourage them to keep making noise. What's the deal?
There are current violations that they are currently violating and have been violating, which includes up to what we found today, which was they don't have an appropriate permit for the space. They have not renewed their public assembly permit, which needs to be renewed every year. They have not done that since 2018, I believe. 16. And so they're technically not supposed to have more than 75 people in the space because of that. But they told us they regularly post parties of up to 240. The current Department of Buildings certificate of occupancy does not say 240 on the line, but they showed us one that said 240. We went back to DOB. They said they don't understand why it's not been updated, but either way, they don't have a proper permit of assembly. So, and when they first applied with us, what they showed us for a permit assembly was 162. And so they are, I mean, that's a DOB issue to deal with them, but the building, who's also dealing with DOB and everything else, is kind of like, well, you don't have a current permit of assembly, you won't follow the rules and regs, you don't abide by your own liquor license, you don't follow the rules of what your stipulations say and everything else, why do we want to soundproof to enable you to continue to do business in an improper way? That is the building aspect. That is for the building as the global to work out with them. We can't get in the middle of that, which is why we had the residents and the neighbors come and them come, and then we had everybody come to try and keep in mind, we've been getting complaints over a year. We sent them to 311. We sent them to MEND. We really tried to get this to kind of work itself out before they came back to us for the renewal.
Yeah.
And so we're at that point of, like, it's he said, it's she said, they don't want to leave, they'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. You know, that's not-
It's not for us to get in the middle of that. I can just document what we.
Yeah, I mean, no, I understand that, but it feels like we are getting in the middle of it.
We asked them to, because we asked them, they said they had, as you see from the resolution, they have a new outside plan. But their outside plan is not working, and the owner admitted that they're getting calls at 1 o'clock in the morning, and that it's not working, and it's still a problem, and it's still a work in progress. So we asked them, in the renewal, we thought what was fair was to scale back. They're supposed to be everybody out of the building by 1 o'clock in the morning. We asked them to scale back to end to bar service at midnight to make sure that they give them a solid hour to people to get out. Instead, because according to the neighbors, it's a 1 o'clock door shut and they throw people out. And so everybody's on the streets at 1 o'clock. And it's not, or two, depending on the length of the party, if they've gone into overtime. And it's not tenable, like the situation isn't tenable. So we asked them for 6 months to scale back their liquor license to midnight, not their closing time, of the place, just serving of alcohol till midnight. We asked them to increase beyond what they already have for their outside, because now they don't use 1 door, they use 2 doors, right? So we asked them to try and have 3 people outside. And we asked them to try and get all of these things done to try and make the situation tenable, and then not to come back to us until they fix all the problems, because they also submitted at the same time a change to a method of operation to add more, which they hence now removed, because they can't actually go down the soundproofing and all the other stuff without a method of operation change either, because they're looking to expand their space. So we've asked them to give it 6 months to try and get it down right with where they are now.
Do they acknowledge the kinds of violations that like the licensing violations?
There were 3 representatives. One in the room acknowledged much of it. The one online did not. And their attorney did his job.
Is anyone, are they up here now?
Am I wrong in saying that that's online space that they've been using improperly?
Correct. The space they're looking to add is space that they're not allowed to legally use, and they have been using. So again.
So I mean, to answer the question of why would we get involved, I mean, it was represented in 2021 that this would not be open to the public at all. And so.
And it is.
That alone is, I mean, I know parties that have gone home there. And I just wanted to answer Jess's question about people, if it's a person, I personally got outreach from 2 people who I don't know very well, in the neighborhood, asking for help with this. They wanted, community board's attention on it. And I think it's a real problem.
Yep.
And, I mean, it's just amazing to come asking for more. It's like asking to borrow $50 and turn it.
The other thing, Jess, the original skip that they filed with us, they're in violation of all of that.
Yeah.
The things that they already agreed to, they're already in violation. So this is one of the reasons why, and we said that in there, if you read through the detail, they're already in violation of a lot of that. So we're asking for them to pull back to midnight. Listen, I'd like nothing than for them to be able to figure it out, but unless they actually start following the rules and working on a plan,
I was just making sure, because it is serious what we're doing here. It's, we're telling a state, look like the state agency to modify their license that allows them to operate. So I just want to make sure,
That's why they're not coming back for moderation, because if they come back for moderation, they'll get flummoxed by us, because they're already violating
Yeah.
all this other stuff.
I got it,
This is the
yeah. I just wanted to
renewal.
make sure.
We're setting this, hold on, ladies. We're setting in a way, we're setting the table. We're giving them an opportunity. We're asking the SLA to modify a little bit. We doubt they will, but we're making a point here. If it was up to some of the people who live upstairs, they want them thrown out, but that's not who we are. That's not what we do.
And SLA.
Right? And the SLA most likely won't. They usually won't, but at least it's on file. Everything that we've done, everything that we've found, everything that's there. I mean, we'd like them to go back to mend. Maybe they end up in cure, which is a more robust enforcement and violations, but the city doesn't want to go down that road, so. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Oh,
Call the question.
Yep.
Thank God. Okay, so this is gonna be a vote by affirmation. All right, assuming everybody's a yes. Are there any no's? Are there any abstentions? Are there any recusals? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody. And it's, trust me, it's not the way we like to do business on the board, but. All righty, let's move on to the next one. We can probably group some of these, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
have one amendment.
Okay, so let's go.
Which one, Al?
285 and
285 West Broadway.
We have an issue, so hold on.
Oh.
Wait, all right, 78 Leonard, which was Taste of New York, 48 Wall, and 59 Nassau, I think are three we can take together, which leaves me one for Alice's amendment, so.
Just saying we're not filling up on.
Number 2, under Tribeca, all right, which is 78 Leonard, all right? Financial District 48 Wall, 59 Nassau, we can take those three together. And actually, we can also take one from the dining out. We can take number 2 and 3, which is 119 South Street. There's Paris Cafe. And we can take 145 West Broadway, which is the Odeon. 145 West Broadway, the Odeon.
There's two, one, yes.
Yeah, there are two 119 South Streets. One is for their sidewalk cafe. One is for the roadway.
Let me do this.
Yeah. No, yeah,
There was no.
yeah. And we can take 145 West Broadway, which is the Odeon for their road bed and their sidewalk, and 8 Park Place for their sidewalk. So we could take under, again, this is Tribeca number 2, Financial District 1 and 2, dining out 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And that's everything.
And that's all, everything but 285 West Broadway and 456 Grimm. Those are the two we'll take. Questions on any of the ones I've called? Jeff and then Eric.
59 Nassau, I think there are typos.
Okay.
Because it looked like it picked up the language from 48 Wall Street, referencing it as a large venue and having 19,094 square feet and so forth.
Oh, thank you.
So,
Well, thank you for catching that.
yeah, I'm not sure whether there's stuff missing or whether there's just stuff, renegade stuff added in.
Thanks.
59
Onesh?
Nassau.
Oh, Nez, we'll take a look. So let's hang on that one for a second. Okay, Eric, your question?
Yes, on 48 Wall, I went on that tour and I recall asking the representative about the hours.
Mhm.
Because this says here, Thursday to Saturday, ending at 2 AM. I recall them saying they changed it to end at, it was either midnight or 1 AM, but it wasn't 2 AM. Is this correct?
That's a, 1 AM. Well, no, that's right.
Thursday through Saturday, it's 10 AM to 2 AM, and the whereas.
And then it says they requested that, then it says the community board approved the following out.
Oh, okay, sorry, my mistake.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Anybody else have anything else? Be on the ones that we've called only.
I don't know what you, I mean,
Yeah,
when you get to 285 West Broadway.
Yeah, I'm coming back to you for that. I'm coming back to you. Anything else on the ones that we've called? Onesh, do you have any other information to update pursuant to what Jeff said about 59 now?
Yes, what you said about 59 was.
59 now.
Is correct. The changes would be the square footage is 3,500 and the capacity is under 74. So it is not a lot.
And it's not gonna have surface events.
No.
So this third whereas is essentially.
The second, oh, yeah, no,
Well,
second,
It's just a restaurant.
the second and third look like they were
yeah.
erroneously lifted from.
But the second is modified and the third one is not there anymore.
Yes, the third whereas can be,
Completely struck.
please struck out, and the second whereas needs to be updated to 3,500 restaurants and 74 Capacity 14 tables and 60 seats.
Okay, repeat that slowly again,
Yeah,
one more
I
time.
can't even read it.
3,500.
3,500.
Yes, it's a restaurant.
Mhm.
The capacity is under 74. Tables 14. Seats 60.
And they have bars.
And one bar, a sushi bar.
So not one stand-up bar, 3 service bars, and 27 bathrooms?
No.
One's, right. They,
One,
they have a service bar, they have a sushi bar.
Yes.
60 seats,
And
one service bar,
A sushi bar.
and one,
How many bathrooms?
2 ADA compliant.
Okay.
two
Got it.
ADA compliant bathrooms.
Thank you, Jeff, for catching that.
Yes.
All right.
Call the question.
Okay, so we're gonna go by affirmation for all of those together. I like that. All righty. Are there any no's?
Thompson is opposed on 145 West Broadway, also 8 Park Place.
Okay. Thank you. Any other oppositions?
Well, the sidewalk or the roadbed? That's your.
Which, did you want sidewalk or roadway?
Which one?
Both of them?
Yes.
Oh, wait, you said, 145 doesn't, that's OD, yeah, so you're against the Odeon having
Yes.
anything.
I've marked them up.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Great, so that's a no for any, are there any other no's for anything that's been called?
I'm sorry,
Are there any abstentions?
I need to understand something, okay?
Okay, what's-
What she had here. The approval on 145 is the sidewalk cafe, and you're asking us for both of these, the sidewalk cafe and the revised roadway plan?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You good?
Good.
All right, are there any more no's? Are there any more are there any abstentions? Are there any refusals? Hearing none?
Amber Russo is here. If I say your vote out loud.
I do,
I didn't hear the,
This is the,
all right, I'm gonna upstate.
okay, perfect. All right, so now the other two resolutions that we have in licensing are. Okay, the other two resolutions that we have, 55 West Broadway, AKA 380 Canal.
I'm sorry.
Alice, you have a question?
I have a question. The 280, the Odeon was not what was I received from, I think one of you guys sent me what was decided. I thought this was not going to be elected to tables here.
That should have been updated, that's a mistake.
Yeah. I think they have.
Well, one of the
I
Odeon,
think we have 2 different documents going on. Yeah.
I think it's before and after that.
Oh, I-
Yeah, they were closed.
There are two,
yes.
Yes,
Okay.
she's showing the existing and you're showing, oh no, and she's showing the revised.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, well, then your verbiage net needs to match the plan that's been approved. So if you could just make sure that you've added that the outdoor seating, really board is concerned about the reduced table have with 2 benches and the applicant agreed to remove the second row of tables on the right of the entryway. And there's nothing that's been, and it's floating, in other words.
And on the left.
And the 2 tables on the left.
It's the full second row, she's still talking about, the one that just got
But
passed.
that whereas is incomplete, it's, you see what I mean? It's here, this doesn't, it's not making sense, so.
you want.
There are a bunch of.
And remove these 2 tables, you're
Yeah,
taking these,
like-
these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables and these 2 tables to the, you're saying to the left of the entry and to the north of the entry.
Let's just make it easier and say that the applicant agreed to remove tables, see updated diagram that is approved. Because the second diagram has
The
everything.
entire second row of tables on the right and left of the entryway into the restaurant, okay? Okay, okay, I'm
All
going
right,
to Francis.
285, Alice, you had comments?
Yeah, just a requested amendment. I guess it's to Francis. The applicant on the 5th, whereas, this is all about the great deal of neighborhood concern is the noise. This is a cabaret spot. you can hear the bass in many of our apartments, including one I live in. The applicant represented that they will create, not that they have an intention, but they will create an acoustically sound space, a box-in-box effect, quoting you, to ensure soundproofing of the establishment. And they agree to install acoustic walls in front of the windows as per the submitted acoustic plan by whatever the name of that engineer is, and the plan exists, and I already, just to attach that, and the text. Yeah. Right, by whatever the name of the company. I'll send you.
Right, I was supposed to say that,
It should be
attached that.
It's, you can't tell on the piece of paper, but where it's underlined, it's linked in the document online. Does anybody else have any questions on 285 West Broadway? Okay, moving ahead with 285, do I hear anybody who would like to?
Call the question.
Second. Thank you. Vote by affirmation on 285 Broadway. Do I have any no's? Amaruso is, you need to say your name in it. Amaruso is a no for 285. Any other no's on 285? Are there any abstentions? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes. All right.
Quick update, I want to update my vote for place. Change it to yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, do these go through final typo checks? Because there are a lot of typos in these.
If you would like to help out and
I would
review
be
them,
happy to.
that would be fantastic. You can work on it afterwards.
These
Yeah.
are a draft, and yes, there are typos
Okay,
that we
good.
did not get to because of the last minute changes.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, so remember, this month has been like,
Just making sure.
yeah. And then- All right, so last is gonna be 456 Greenwich. So this is for cash. We're going to have to vote against the resolution completely and then vote a new resolution. And the reason is the applicant sent notice to the community board that they do not agree with that.
They don't want to sign
They
it.
have two applications before the board. One for their sidewalk cafe, and the second is for their liquor license. And they did not want to abide by either stipulations that were sent to them. On either one. They said they don't care. They would like to keep as many seats as they want, and they were not interested in reducing hours on the sidewalk. Remember, sidewalk cafes are 365 days a year, and, so, yeah.
Is there any states right there?
That was my question, is did somebody confirm that it was?
No, that whole thing has to be voted down anyway. So, I need to, so we need to explain kind of what happened with them. And then go from there. On edit? You know what? Oh, it's the resolution. I don't see it. Yeah, it's not in my packet.
It's there.
Yeah.
Which several, it's the second.
Oh, I see it.
Little. Oh, it's the first one after 59.
Yeah.
Not
The big
Okay,
diagram.
here it is. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, that.
Okay, so when they came to us, there are two aspects. And so what we're gonna have to do now, because it's not as easy as it was, we have to vote this down entirely and then do two new resolutions. One for the sidewalk cafe and one for the modifications that go to SLA.
Yes. This one can be voted on. This part can be voted on.
Which part?
For the sidewalk cafe.
They refused to make the changes we asked.
Yes, but then it could be approved with modification. Or.
So your options on sidewalk cafes is different than SLA licensing because it has to be put into a system. So the system that we have is it's revocable consent. If they don't agree with the community board, then we can deny. No, that's not true. If we deny it because of whatever reasons we put on denying, for example, we think it's too tight, we think it's this, we think it's that, having to do with everything that's there next to the tree pit and all the other stuff that we ask them, then it goes to a public hearing.
they're denying, they decline to.
Say it louder so you can be picked up.
They're declining the stipulations because they claim that the floor plans that they presented to us were accepted and approved by DOT, and everything that they have in the floor plan is within the rules and regulations for the outdoor dining that they were given. And that is the reason why they're declining to sign the stipulations for the liquor license expansion.
Right, so outdoor dining allows you to be outside till midnight. Liquor license is different, as we know. We have different rules and regs for liquor licenses in residential neighborhoods. And so we asked them to comply with what we would normally do in a residential neighborhood, which was Sundays end at 10, Monday to Thursday at 11, and Saturday and Sunday midnight. Midnight is what they can do as of right anyway. And they are not agreeing to the earlier hours on Sunday and Monday through Thursday.
How much more time do they? Another hour?
They want to go to midnight every night.
Yeah.
Every night?
Yeah.
Is this a hotel?
Yeah. Yeah, so
It's right on Greenwich.
Oh, I know. I don't know the language they put in their email, but some of that language, might be used with the resolution to argue against what they're saying. They're saying like they're within the rules and regulations. These are really basically guidelines. They're not hard, fast rule regulations. There's a difference, and that should be noted. And that each applicant, so we noted, is on a case-by-case basis. And it all depends on the location, how much residential people live there. All these factors need to be noted. And third, note that this is what we do for every single applicant, that there's nothing special with that word about this applicant that entitles them to exceed any guidelines or parameters that we have set forth for here.
So I want to make a motion to, God bless you. God bless you.
Sorry.
To vote down the resolution as we have it, because we're going to need to split out to do two separate ones. One for outdoor dining, and which they are correct, they can have the setup out there for the hours that they have. But we can also send a note to SLA saying, yeah, no, they have to follow these hours. So while they may get at the end, the outdoor
Wait,
dining till midnight,
Can we just vote on what you just said?
Yep.
So you want to,
my suggestion is we vote down this resolution.
Second.
Second, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, all in favor?
Is that how we do things then?
Yeah, well, no.
That's fine with me. Are there any?
Hold on, Hernandez.
You have to say your name and your vote since you're back.
I agree with everybody else, Fernandez.
Okay, are there any no's, which means you're in support of the resolution? Any abstention? Okay, motion passes. We've now declined both their sidewalk permit and the alteration. Now going back to this, I'm gonna go straight at their sidewalk cafe.
Point of information.
Yeah.
I think as a technical matter, since these applicants are so set on rules, I believe now that we need to take this up in new business. As the chair, you can suspend that rule, just say it for the record.
That's what I'm expecting. All
All right,
You got me.
you never did it before, so that's what.
So, since we're done with everything else in licensing, I'm putting new business here so we can continue down the road for this and new business. The first one is going to be their sidewalk cafe permit. If you can see what was presented on the site plan, we asked them to do all deuces, not four tops, because they hadn't included a service lane, and you can see where they have all their tables. Their service comes out of the back door, and they told us at the meeting they would be serving from over the sidewalk, which is actually not allowed in the rules and regs. So we would decline their application based on them telling us they were serving from outside the sidewalk. And that our concerns, because when you look closer to what they have, if you look at the top where the tree pits are, it just makes it very, very, very narrow.
That street is narrow.
It's 12 inches,
between between the perimeter and the table, the edge of the table, yes.
which is not wide enough for a service path.
No, it's not funny.
Okay, so the motion would be to decline the setup with the four tops that they have
Yes.
unilaterally, because they have no room for a service path as they stated. And they told us they were gonna serve from the sidewalk, which we said no to. And we'll put in there that we suggested and requested only two tops to allow for more space to serve, and they declined. So can I,
Yeah, you can.
does that work for?
Yeah, make a motion.
Yeah, no.
So Wendy's made a motion. Yep.
This is on Sidewalk Cafe only, right?
This is only for the sidewalk cafe.
It doesn't matter that they said yes at the meeting and then
Nope.
later declined.
Nope, they just didn't agree, they don't sign the steps ones on the back. All right, so.
Motion is made.
Motion is made,
Second.
motion is seconded, all the rules and regs go in for sidewalk cafe that they have broken on this. This is just for sidewalk. All right, can we,
And this is a, what,
So we're saying we ask them, we don't want them to give the permit unless they.
we are
follow-
declining them with this current setup that they have.
Okay, and
Period.
end of discussion. No,
End of
no
discussion.
stipulations, no nothing.
We would put the line in there, if they would do all deuces to allow for a service path, then we would approve.
Okay,
But
fair.
it's a deny unless, right?
Perfect, yeah.
Would be, we don't have denial or unless, for the sidewalk cafe, we have three options. We have actually four options. You could either waive the entire thing.
No.
You can approve it as is, you can deny it as is, or you can approve it with modifications.
Which is what we did to start with, and
Yeah.
then they disagreed with the modification, so
So
we're-
let's just deny it.
this is a flat denial. Okay,
Flat denial.
all right, so this is, the question was called, the question was seconded.
So
I'm assuming
voting yes
everybody's
on-
in favor for a denial.
Correct.
Are there any no's? Are there any abstentions? Are there any recusals? Sidewalk cafe is denied. All right, so now the liquor license portion of this. With every,
Can you just remind me, does the neighborhood know anything about the application for a sidewalk cafe?
doubtful, they didn't post it.
Are they required to post it?
They're not required to post it, but I've been requesting them to post.
There's no requirement.
2 weeks before they come to the meeting.
So we requested, we asked them to provide proof of posting,
Yes.
like everything else.
but we didn't see any, right? So I haven't seen any.
I don't remember. We've denied them. All right, so now this goes to the liquor license. So the SLA does a modification to the existing stipulations to incorporate the outdoor municipal use. That is the way they do it. We would deny their application because they want to go to midnight, and we are saying no. So we would deny this application unless they follow the hours that we have in the stipulation here. Everybody understand that?
Make a motion.
Motion
Second.
made, motion seconded. Vote by affirmation on this one. Are there any no's? Are there any abstentions? Are there any recusals? Thank you, everybody. Licensing is done for the month.
There you
Yeah.
Getting voted.
We split them out for the second because we have to deny them differently for each.
All right.
But you would
Okay, so, we talked a little bit in the beginning of the meeting about the first precinct coming to the report. I don't think there's much else to say. Just go, if you can, to the first precinct council meeting every month. It's the third Thursday of the month. Okay, next thing we talked about was the VC Street construction because Zach and I had gone on a walkthrough about 2 months ago and there has been no progress. So both Greenwich Street and VC Street, one of the big problems is that there is a special unit, and we've had this same problem for years with Con Ed. There's a special unit whenever wires are exposed or Con Ed equipment has to be lowered. They have to have a special unit come in and do that work. The company that's doing the other work cannot do Con Ed work. So Con Ed has not been able to show up in a timely manner so that the project can proceed.
So I think we're gonna try to see if we can have a meeting with Con Ed, along with DDC, and see if there's any way to get them to proceed a little bit faster, get to the sites faster and get the work accomplished so that the rest of the project can be done. Greenwich Street, we've had an issue with for quite a while. It's a long project. They extended it a block without any notification to the community. We talked about it being dark along Fetterman and Greenwich as you're trying to walk. I almost fell. As you're trying to walk along, I don't know how many people have been there. It's fenced in, it's very narrow. Also crossing from across, is it Murray? Murray, that's, it's uneven, it's dark. We asked them if they could extend their flaggers, because the flaggers only work during work hours and they leave at 3:30. Well, once you have rush hour, that's when everybody is trying to go from every place. And it's dark because it's winter, and we need to have the flaggers there for a longer period of time during the day. They said it wasn't part of the scope of the project. In other words, they hadn't allotted money for that, but that they would go back and they'd discuss it, and they'd come back and let us know, so we'll follow up on it. Is there anything else like Greenwich Street that was that important? No, okay. So the other big thing, as usual, is the borough-based jail. It only has another couple of months at most before they're totally completed with the deconstruction. Laura Dodge has just come on. Many of you are familiar with Laura. She's the environmental scientist. She's our public advocate. She's just come on, I think 6 weeks ago. And she was on the 250 Water Street project, which is why we advocated. She had done such a great job. We advocated for her. Number one, she has not been, so nothing has been, we want to see her stay on the project for when they start construction, but it's a completely different, they have to have a different, what's the word I'm looking for?
Contract.
Yeah, they don't have anything, yeah, everything's
RFP,
changing.
right,
yeah.
exactly. But we'd like her to stay on during construction, so we'll have to keep advocating for that and see if we can get it to happen. In the meantime, she has observed the site. Again, it's late in the project, they're just about finished. But we have had some issues from the public. Vera has complained about there being dust and seeing dust. I think Jared saw dust also. There's been some noise issues. So Laura has gone to the site, worked with Gramercy Construction, and she's advocating. She's given them a report about what her suggestions are. But as she keeps saying, it's late in the project. But she is advocating for handheld monitors for noise and vibrations. Who put the ones up across the street?
Yeah, the community put up a couple.
To across the street, and you're not getting the same information.
We need to have monitoring in the site so that we can correspond and correlate as to what's causing the exceedances on the monitors at the perimeter and on the monitors that we have placed on Baxter Street. Those are Laura's recommendations. The city was offensive in what they said. They said, oh, it's already down and there's only 1.5 months left, so why do we need to do this? Well, that is exactly why we need to do this, because you only have 1.5 months left. So, I strongly urge that we have to get Laura's recommendations in place immediately.
All right, so we're gonna follow up on it and see if we can get, what that happened.
Do we know who the architect and the contractor is?
Well, there are two architectural companies that do prisons. And, oh, yes, somebody did say.
And that's all they're coming in for, if I may.
Right, so there's.
And HOK,
Yeah.
No, that's the Brooklyn jail.
No, they're for the.
If I may, yes.
Is there HOK, Brooklyn and?
Yes, it has been published in 5 different publications, and it's Tudor Mariner and HOK Architect. That have won the bid, but for some reason, the city doesn't want to acknowledge
Say
it.
that.
It's not finalized.
Supposedly they're negotiating money and changes to the design, so they're not announcing it yet.
It just can't be that.
Well, anyway,
No,
let's move on. All right, let's move on. Right, it's like fine.
Is there a timeline yet set for when they're gonna start construction?
No, if they haven't awarded the contract.
Okay, so nothing, that could be a year, could be.
We have 1 minute left on this report. We have
Okay,
1 minute
sorry.
left.
So,
Go to the committees.
So, I know we're talking about having Laura be involved for making the best out of that situation. But what is our sort of plan as a group to continue to oppose this truly this one?
Oppose what?
The jail. The construction of a 40-story jail in the middle of China.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not. Well, no, sir.
I mean,
There isn't any, I mean.
there is
Done
the
group.
thing that's fighting it still.
What do we oppose it? I'm not sure. No, I mean, it's a done deal. I don't know that we can.
No, it's not.
We did ask
We
the
don't
money,
know what
they had
they
money
built.
yet for the construction.
Yeah.
We asked if they had money and then we didn't get an answer.
I'd like to propose that we
Got a new mayor.
consider a working group on that very question with the new mayoral administration. A window might be open for reinterpreting what this mayor has considered. Having to continue with closing of Rikers, it's always the excuses why we continue with business as usual. But I think you raise a really good point. Look forward as to what, in fact, this community and our neighboring community, Community 4-3, really wants to consider as a top proposal. I think it's a great idea.
Good idea.
Now.
Okay, okay.
Not calling any questions.
More no questions. That's all.
No, but
This is just the report. We're moving on.
I'm done. And other than if you want
We're
to
done.
accept Alice's proposal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, he's well.
We'll talk about it
Meet outside.
next month. It doesn't belong in the committee conversation here.
Not to follow the event committee question, it is a working group on the borough-based jail.
I think it's an executive.
Quality
But
body.
it's good time to bring to next year to either land use or exec.
Excellent,
Perfect.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Alice, you're up.
Oh,
6 minutes.
chop, chop. Okay, wait a minute.
I'm on the timeline.
In Brendan's honor there, I'm gonna do it short. I have like 5 minutes, but I first have to find my cheat sheet with all my pictures. Just a minute.
But you're gonna get 5 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe it's like.
Have pictures? Wait a minute, where's pictures? Go.
Yeah.
Okay, so so this is a summary of a public meeting that happened on Monday where the Environmental Protection Committee was supposed to be there, attending a lot of community members to look at the Seaport Coastal Resilience. These are the plans you see looking for combating the challenge of sea level rise in that particular location in orange on the inside of, the Ford project. It's different by that. Go ahead. And topographic map showing, of course, why we need this and going from low to high. It is quite something to see the section that it just goes from 6 feet to 14 feet. That's the area we're looking at. Next slide. And so this project is divided into 2 areas, inland in purple and waterfront in green. So you can lodge yourself in Imagination Playground on the south end and a little bit north, it's the Brooklyn Bridge on the north end. Next slide. So here are the flood alignments. Those lines in different colors are actually walls and the rectangles are gates. And you can see on the right, the height of intervention, fixed barriers, the pink ones along the waterfront, 4 to 6 feet, 2 to 4 in the orange and yellow, 0 to 2. And then you have the deployable gate. And this, just so you can see on the left, the scale, these gates are like 80 feet long in some cases, just so you get a sense of how big they are. Some of them will be underground presumably, but just so you know. Next slide.
I don't think people really understand until you get to the other.
Okay, well, anyway, so this is the project area for inland, and you'll see, I'm going to show you some pictures of the memorial, the Seaport Street, and the Imagination Playground. Next slide. So existing condition, you all know Titanic Memorial. Next slide, here you are, the intervention. So you've got the 2-foot variety, this is low, and this is what they call placemaking opportunity. You turn that wall into potential bench. Next.
Sleeping.
Next slide, existing condition along Front Street. Here you have a 2 to 4 foot wall. And here you have the intervention with the bench, and this one has the glass wall on top to allow for some sort of transparency to, of course, the entire glazed facade behind it. Next slide.
Anybody see it?
Here we are, it's the Imagination Playground.
Like a big jail.
Go a little slower. The height of the intervention here, 4 to 6 feet, so you're going from, okay, and this one I love is, so you from where we're standing over here to all the way across, that's a 6-foot incline, and this is the placemaking opportunity. from that wall. Next slide is showing you, of course, Pier 16, Pier 17 under the FPR. This is existing condition. Here's the proposal going again from 7 to approximately 11 feet, ramping up.
Looks like a skate park, doesn't it?
Exactly. So when I often call people to action to come to these meetings, this is what you're gonna see, and this project is paid for, and most likely will have to be built within all of our lives.
Meeting well attended by the public?
No,
Well, well,
I say, it was.
Alex says no, and then.
Well, I don't consider 50 people in my mind for a project of this scale, but thank you. Okay, well then, Jeff was there too, was it well attended? It
Well,
was
like you said, there were 50 or 60
There you
people,
go.
so
For these-
take your definition.
That
of what
includes
that's-
the signers and
Getting it, right.
the bureaucrats and the,
Okay, we're almost done. The Dairy District, Municipal Waterfront, here again. Now, here's where you just go back one, you'll see, that's the area of where there's the HESCO barriers, so those are 4-foot concrete barriers that you see. So it's similar, but a little higher. So that's going all the way along, all the way north. And now you can convert that into placemaking. Now, next slide. This. And so again, you can see that this is a really big project and will change the landscape and urbanscape considerably. And so it's good to be watching out. Next slide.
They also did.
And
ask
so
if
that
we
was
wanted to
it.
see-
So that was it. And just so you know, so what I wanted to, just a couple of things that are important. That was there were about 100 slides. Obviously, you should all really look this over. It's not a hard thing to do. You just go on to the Seaport Resilience, Gov site. There will be an environmental section in next month. They will come and do a whole presentation for us. Before that presentation, those of you who were there on Monday's meeting, and even those who are now sort of beginning to get interested, should put together questions, send them to Zach and to me, because what I want to have happen in environmental protection is we have those questions answered, as many have, that we have already in our heads, for that meeting. And there were plenty of things that were brought up, and there was huge interest in more green space, of course, and we heard why there isn't more green shown, because evidently the Parks Department had asked them not to show much green because they have no way to maintain it. So they don't want to give the impression that somehow Parks is going to control all this area and have
Right.
green, for example. You can believe that that's what.
like the list said,
So I encourage you all to come next January, in the January meeting, and please, those of you who did go, and I'll send around a backup email, that you come, that you send questions to give them for that meeting. Mark.
Okay.
Any landmarking, factor?
Absolutely, this will go to landmarks, absolutely. I mean,
Francis.
historic district.
Francis then Monday.
I know, it is
I
going,
love the contextual.
your laughing is understood.
I think you should send, it would have been great to have copies of that, what they gave out.
Well, this,
For people.
We have a
Yeah.
copy of the video. It will be sent tomorrow to the full board with
Yeah,
the
okay.
slides and everything.
That's a perfect, that's a
I don't
good
think so,
copy.
it was just done on.
Gives you a nice.
Just go out to everyone and then have those questions for early January so we can
Mhm.
ask them of EDC and of MLCEJ.
Yeah,
Those are the two lead agencies on this project.
And-
EDC,
and I-
MLCEJ. Yeah, Wendy.
So I think the other thing is just to remember that this is the only funded project. This actually will get built. Whereas the FIDI Seaport, there's, not a lot of funding and a very long time frame ahead. And the other thing that they stressed is that this is not meant for any sort of Hurricane Sandy type event. It would not protect against Sandy. It is protecting against normal tidal, and
Tidal flood.
And they said by 2050, in this area, we will have, when the moon is out and, tides are at a certain rate, there will be sunny day flooding in this area by 2050 as just what they're predicting. So that, I just want to put out there too, that this is, this is the lowest spot. It's, as it said earlier, at parts of it's only 4 feet above sea level. And we did ask other good questions, and it sounds like they are gonna factor that in, but they didn't have answers for us yet, is that pumping is going to be a big issue in this space, probably because of the everyday tidal
flooding, this is gonna be an issue right away. So it's a very needed project. We want it to be as beautiful as possible and as green as possible and all those things, but I just want to emphasize that this side of Manhattan, without this protection, is really by 2050 going to be flooding on a sunny day.
Jeff?
Yeah, I had some sort of side, the nature of this meeting is that you can walk around and talk to all sorts of people. And so I spoke with the lead engineer at some length. And although it is not designed to protect against a Sandy type storm, they do believe it would have mitigating effects even in a Sandy type storm. So there would still be flooding with Sandy or the Sandy on steroids that may occur in the future. But as Wendy said, what it's designed to protect against is daily or monthly tidal flooding.
And I think my challenge to the board as we move to the next committee is that anyone who did not attend Monday's meeting needs to look through the slides, make comments. If you don't want cement everywhere, you don't think there's a great opportunity to build an entire lower Manhattan skate ramp, please say something. You want to see a tree? See a tree. You want a bush? See a bush. Say something, because this is our one opportunity and this is funded. I can't say that often enough, right? It's to see something, say something, but in this way to improve the area. Look at what Gotham Park has done. Seriously, use that as an example. Look at the trees, the plants, the this, the that we have, that we didn't have before. If you want something like that, then you have to say something when you're looking at these plans. Okay? Gerald?
Yeah, I want to clarify something about the pump stations.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a series of these around the whole lower Manhattan. And basically, what's happening is, we're with like the flood barrier and this and all the rest of it, you're basically building a bathtub. And so the pump stations are for rain events, basically, storm events, where it's not pumping the surge out, it's all of this infrastructure is keeping the surge from getting in, but then you have to get the rain that's coming in out. And so that's what the pump stations are for. And typically, you should know that with a pump station, you're gonna have an electrical room to go with it, as well as backup generators. And they're not small.
No.
I mean, generators are, like think container ship size. There's a lot of infrastructure, a lot of.
All right.
Going on.
Again,
Go to the meeting.
go to the meeting, watch the slides, and Betty, take us home. You're up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. Go to the next slide.
Next, next slide.
Thank you. For those who are interested in the taxi and limousine commission, I say look at the tape. Let's move on to the two resolutions. The first one is about the concession agreement to the Downtown Skyport LLC. And you missed a whole bunch of slides in there. I don't know how that happened. Oh, go there.
There we go.
This was, go back. You're not moving, I asked you to move.
Yeah, it's slow. Just give it a second to catch up.
This goes back to November 2023, for those who remember the mayor. Adams went out and did his public announcement. The video is still online. You can see it. Anyway, there's a follow. You go to the next one, because this is two of the EV totals. This was, his announcement was for transformation into a sustainability hub, which is what they're considering Pier 6 to become. Pier 6, here you can get a picture of it and where it's located. We go to the next one. We go to the next one. This is more of a rendering of Skyport and the two vendors that are coming in. So you can see there is also, you can see the boat arriving, because there is a marine component of bringing freight in from the Bronx and Brooklyn. We're going to a platform that's going to be added. That's where the boat's headed. That's where there will be the e-bikes and things that will be commercial bikes that will do the deliveries out in the community. The DOT has not announced any of those plans yet. And the rest of it, which is a heliport now, will become heliport plus EV tolls. And it is
FAA recognized airport. The size of the airport will not change in its footprint. But again, all of this was spelled out in the resolution if you're. Next one, because it is new technology. Our biggest concerns in the past have been one, the pollution from the helicopters as well as the sound. Obviously, the eVTOLs are zero emission while in flight. So that would be a big change. The Joby here is an eVTOL, it's over to the one to the right. These are sound scans that were made using NASA equipment, and they use the Joby. And you can see the change went from 65 decibels for the Joby to it's about 85 to 90 decibels for helicopters. You can see a range of 4 of them here. That means it is logarithmic difference. If you're talking about a 20 decibel difference, that's 20 times quieter or noisier, depending which direction you're going. So these are considerably quieter, but you can listen to them on the tape if you go back to the mayor's announcement.
Which ones do they use now, or there's any of them, any of those helicopters fly?
Right now, a lot of these do fly.
Yeah.
The Joby is the eVTOLs, and that was in the picture, and you're going to see. But some people are also concerned, so the next one, they're concerned about what do you do with new technology, because nobody is really flying them. The FAA is certainly in the process of clearing them for flight. They're expecting by maybe the end of next year, they will be. The European Union is also clearing them at this point, and they have made it, they allow pilot training of eVTOLs in Europe at this point. That's where they are in the process. And if you go to the next one, you're going to find places like Dubai. You don't have to worry about the EU or the FAA. And the people who are the vendors that are coming in to work on Pier 6 are already involved. So Skyport is working with Joby, and they are going to eVTOL flights out of Dubai, and that's going to be starting probably next year. Again, keep in mind, another thing they wanted to point out is all over the world is looking for the eVTOLs. They can only make so many, so when they do go online in Europe and here, not everybody can buy as many as they want. New York is a desirable spot, and they are looking to get in. There have been agreements already signed with the airports to fly to various airports, such as United Airlines and Delta Airlines already have agreements for eVTOL flights out to Newark Airport and also I think to JFK.
How about the generator and where the electricity is coming from?
That is all being placed. That's part of the agreement. That's all responsibility, and it has to be everything for both of these projects has to be completely in place at the end, by the end of the first 5-year contract. Otherwise, there won't be an extension.
No, I understand, but there's a generator.
Yes, it's going to be with pads.
And how is that generator going to be generating electricity?
It's not.
There's no generator, they're gonna run lines. They're gonna run power to.
They're going to run power from the street grid?
Yeah. Yes, and they're always talking, they're worried about Con Ed,
Yeah, I got it.
So they realize they've already been aware it's a problem, and EDC has already cleared with them that it's going to be potentially possible to do this in a timely manner.
So, yeah, they're gonna plug into our existing, electric grid.
They're running electric off the land.
Yeah, okay. And then, so what was that building for, the generator? What was that?
That building's still, it's already there. Like
What- Oh, and that's going away.
No, the building's gonna be there. They still have a lot of they still have a lot of infrastructure they need to actually charge eVTOLs, as well as to charge. We asked, as you can see in the resolution, for charging the bikes as well as charging marine vessels,
And that's all coming from Con Ed,
vendors. Yes, they have. to
not
generated on site.
Not generated on site with fossil fuels.
Correct.
Good luck.
So
Mark,
EDC
Mark has a question. Mark?
What if they need to make an emergency water landing? How do these batteries react?
Yeah. We didn't ask.
Yeah, we didn't, I don't.
Yeah.
When they'll come back when they're ready to expand into electric, because they're still a little ways out. They seem like they would be very good community partners, and we're happy to ask.
So it'd be like the Teslas, they explode when they hit salt water?
Probably.
Okay, any other?
Keep in mind, the only function
Done.
that you buy for a while, and this
Right.
does run the
I'll
airports,
start in the cold.
does run the airports in London and Paris. And these are big time operators with
I
a lot of
understand.
experience. They're putting EV tolls in those
Just-
locations.
Just a little question.
It's still
Question.
precious when you have experience.
Mark,
Question is, has Stop the Shop, like, weighed in, or have they been invited?
Ah,
to the board to
you know
comment?
what? We post all our stuff publicly. They are on every mailing list. I know they get our stuff. I know they see our stuff. We didn't hear a peep.
Nothing from them. Interesting. All right.
Even the press didn't have anything from them, other than they're looking at it.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Okay.
Yep.
They've been at it for a long time.
I have two,
Any,
I have friendly, when you're ready, some
Like we
questions,
talked
I
about,
go.
we can do that online. I mean, that's,
Friendly amendment, please say so.
these aren't really amendments, these are changing words.
I'm changing words. I'm asking that instead of, if in fact this passes and we're gonna look at, instead of saying on the, not the second to last page, okay, so,
Say it here. Let's go.
right? Okay, so instead of encourages, I suggest requires or something strong. In the third, the first full whereas, CV one, requires a reduction in the amount of space, but
Well, I will not agree with that because we can't require anything.
I just,
Just try.
come up with a word, in my suggestion is, and you can do what you want with it, to be stronger.
You can ask for a vote on that, Mary.
No, no.
Guys, let's keep this under control.
Yeah, I'm just-
Justine, go through all the things you want to say and then we'll go through feedback.
Okay, so my
That was the first whereas.
first thing was to,
There's a whole page of that.
not a whole bit, just four. And CV one encourages, I say requires or something, calls upon, and then go down to where it says it is suggested. I would once again say
Number the whereas, because you can't
one,
follow.
2, 3, 4 down.
Yep.
It says it is suggested that downtown Skyport, I would say instead CV one calls upon downtown Skyport to keep, and then destination's got a typo. Next one,
Whoa. Four down on which page?
same page, I'm just gonna, this is all one page, all on the same page, I have my only comments are on this page,
On the second to last. page?
second to last page.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry. So yeah, I'm just saying to make it stronger. If this is gonna pass, I would suggest stronger. And I apologize. I should have been at the meeting, saying this at the meeting, and I was not able to.
Justine, on your fourth word suggested that the landing fees be competitive.
Yes, instead of saying it is suggested, I would say CV one calls upon, or suggests, or whatever the chair approves.
They already said that they were gonna do that, Justine.
Okay, CV one maintains that the use of commercial bikes and maintains that, so that's fine. That's it. Just, it's nonsense. In terms of, it's a little bits of stuff. It's not the end of the world. I just would be stronger.
Are there edits?
Anybody else have anything other?
Point of question. If you want to make the suggestion.
Yes.
Propose it as a motion.
A motion to friendly
Someone
amendment.
seconded, then we vote on it. There's no such thing as a friendly amendment.
I think that we could probably agree to change the wording because of the presentation. It wasn't controversial, Betty. I don't know why we couldn't say, you know, where it's suggested the landing fee is competitive. We can actually say we appreciate that downtown Skyport said they would keep the landing
Fine.
fees.
Yeah, that would be
Because
fine.
that's what they said, that's what EDC said, it was part of their business plan, we can change it to something which accommodates what both of you are looking for.
And I should have done
I need a pencil.
it. And I should have done it sooner.
Oh, that's okay.
That's why I'm here.
Call the question.
Oh, can we get the language and then call the
I
question?
just thought, I heard that we were gonna just take it offline, I'm sorry.
Can't do that.
It's a public meeting, you gotta go. So the fourth one becomes CV1 appreciates that downtown Skyport will be keeping the landing fees competitive.
Yes.
Right, and above that,
I say encourages, it says encourage, CB one encourages, I suggested requires,
about
is there something in requests? Maybe that's a more
requests,
palatable.
Yeah, request is a good compromise.
that sounds great. And what was the one on the top?
That's it.
Just two?
Yeah, because the other ones, she already said that's fine to put in CD one.
Okay, all right, that's great.
Madam Chair.
Anybody?
I just want to clarify, what we just did was perfectly fine, but it cannot be done offline.
Correct, that's why.
Please,
Mark,
can you please?
that's why I said no to offline, and we did it here, and that's why I ignored Mr. Jason and asked him to wait.
He's Betty.
It's not happening offline, it
Well, I
is
don't want
exactly as
something
we
in the
discussed.
future to.
It's on the record.
Happy New Year.
It's on the record, Mark, asked, answered, and done.
I know for this specific situation, but.
Agreed,
Okay.
agreed.
These things should not.
All right, do other people have edits for this resolution?
Anybody else have any questions? Did I hear?
Call the
any-
question.
Oh, wait.
There you go.
Second. All right.
Fantastic. So let's, is this our last one?
No.
One more.
The non-controversial.
I'm gonna assume that everybody's gonna say yes. Everybody already knows.
Which one? This thing, no.
Here's the.
Russo, no.
Anything we have.
I'm abstained because I have 15 minutes.
Last name and abstention.
Kuchia abstained.
Sung abstains.
You abstained.
Fantastic. That's 3 abstentions, 1 no. Do I hear
That's why.
any else in the room or online?
Hold on, I only got 2
Lerner abstains.
You have 4 abstentions. I heard you, Joe. That was Lerner just now.
Kuchia.
You and Sung, correct?
And Rose, and Rose.
Vera Sung.
Judge.
Awesome.
You got it.
Okay, so with that, let's move to our last resolution of the night.
Call the question.
Sorry, we have 2 more resolutions. Oh, wow. What do you mean? No.
Whatever happens to democracy, whatever happens to
All right.
democracy.
Dr.
Robert
Kay?
rules of order.
Hey, everybody be quiet. Let's get.
Whatever the Robert's rules of order.
There's not a whole lot to say about this. This is updates, and if
There you
you
go.
get the resolution, it's all spelled out in
Pretty good.
detail.
I heard only. Yeah, let's go.
Listen, does any, Mark has a question, he has his hand up.
And there as well.
And Vera as well, I think Eric. So this is how we're going. We're going, guys, really, we're like so close to Jonesing to be out on time. Let's keep it together. Mark, 2 minutes. Vera, 2 minutes. Eric, 2 minutes. Go, Mark.
Community Board 1 is still officially on record of wanting Park Road open to vehicular traffic, correct?
Correct.
All right, so is anything in this resolution contradict that?
Why don't you take a moment to read
I
it?
read it, but it's a little bit convoluted.
Okay, read through it, and if you have.
So I read through it, I did read.
Okay.
Dr.
then-
Kay
It's a little
said
bit
no.
convoluted. I just wanted to be on the record that it's not contradicting our previous resolution. Okay, thank you.
Not as far as I can tell. Vera.
Betty, you talk about the bus island, but I understand that the bus island violates the Department of Building regulations and the way it was built.
Department of Transportation.
Department of Buildings as well. It's too high on one side.
It says
It's higher on the side of where the bus is, and already someone, had an accident and hurt themselves, so an elderly person.
You know, that was said at the meeting, and in fact, there are 4 points about that bus island, about.
But it does not say anything like that.
Yes, it does.
And I think that bus island should be removed as the way it is right now, because it isn't properly built.
They're not gonna remove that.
Gotcha. Okay, so everybody who's paying attention on page 2, Vera, page 2, the second whereas. Says, talks about adding seating, that it's accessible, reducing the 11-inch curb height where it's not needed for bus boarding, so it's safer for seniors to step up and down from the island. That actually is not accurate, Betty, for what they were talking about. What they said was that it was built backwards so that the 11-inch was on the pedestrian side versus being on the bus side.
Right, but you're trying to explain why these problems occurred. This is dealing with what these problems are. 11-inch is so-called needed for the bus boarding itself, so they don't have to kneel, the bus doesn't have to kneel somewhere. So where the bus kneeling and entry isn't there, the 11 inches is not needed. So get rid of it.
What's the
What it says. So that everywhere else.
And I think they have to raise, raise it on the bus side, because that's where it's actually.
Oh, but that's what it says.
That's what the resolution
That's what
says.
it says.
Yeah, no, it's just, adding seating, constrain the bus.
Reducing the curb, but it's not needed. Yeah,
It's not needed.
for bus
Where is it
boarding.
needed in the hospital?
So leave it where it's needed.
It is.
Yeah, so, right.
Any other direction?
It,
Down from.
Yeah.
So like when they exit from the bus, they would step down from the island and something that's not 11 inches.
If you go up front, they go up the back, they go up the other side, and it wouldn't be 11 inches.
I'd like to make a suggestion that we just clean this up a little bit, so it's, if I don't understand it, and I sat through 4 meetings on this dang stuff, I think that that's a bit of a problem.
Let me look at it, because all the other people did understand it.
Okay, I'm good with
We're
that.
looking for a lot of explanation versus just saying what the problem is and what we want to fix.
Okay, Eric?
Yeah, I voted against this in committee because this resolution, it doesn't address that the DOT, their SIP program, it's precluding opening up Park Road to traffic.
It is not.
It does, because the bus island, it's creating a one lane and at a stoplight. At a bus stop, you're creating a bus stop right in the lane of traffic.
My dude, it's a 2-lane road, 1 lane for each side. We have buses that go on 1-lane roads in our community. We are a community of narrow streets. There's nothing in here that precludes the preponderance of, if you want to add something that says CB1 is still on record and looking forward to seeing the traffic study with the hope that Park Road could be open to accommodate cars, that's one thing. But you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater here while they're studying it. You can vote against it, that's all.
But could we add that? I'd like that.
Stop, let's get through everything first, and Justine, you're out of order. Mariana, you're next.
No, I'm not gonna Pardon, I'm not gonna.
That's for.
Mariana.
So wait, I didn't get my 2 minutes.
Oh, sorry, you've got 1 minute and 8 seconds left.
Okay, and then the other thing is with the DOT, they're not opening up Park Row as a pilot program to collect data on how this would alleviate traffic along Pearl Street as well as St. James. All of their construction projects, the SIP and their studies, it's not truly considering opening Park Row ever. They haven't done anything to really even consider it. They're saying it, they're building concrete bus islands into the road. That, in my opinion, will preclude opening up. They won't open it.
Didn't they say they were modeling the opening of
Yes.
Park Row?
Yes.
It's in the presentation.
Yes.
That a previous resolution.
It was in the presentation, Eric. We haven't seen Eric, I'm answering you. You want to have a side conversation with Mark, you can do that outside. You asked me, it was in the presentation, we sat in the room where they said that they would have this discussion about opening or closing Park Row, keeping it closed, keeping it open, whatever open. Once they finished with the traffic study, and in the traffic study, they assured us that they would be doing modeling of Park Row being open.
Without testing it. They'll do
That's what modeling is.
on data from prior to 2001.
Opening, no, that's not how they do things. That's like saying they should reconstruct it to like be
Yes,
able bike lane.
yes.
Do that too.
Stop.
We don't pilot every
Stop.
possibility. Sorry.
I hear you. Let's think about this. Let's let other people talk. Mariama, you're next.
I agree with Mark and with Eric. Although I do like what you said, and I think it could definitely help the resolution. I'm probably gonna vote no as well, because right out of the gate, I feel like with how excited we are to support the designs, all the designs I've seen do not include any reopening of Park Road. So I'm not excited about that. I'd be excited if I'd seen maybe here's a consideration of if we open it, it look like this. I've only seen what things are gonna look like after the reopening.
Did you read this though?
No,
Because
it's not a bad sentence, but
it says we're excited about sidewalks.
it says we're excited about working with supporting these agencies in their redesign. And I'm finding that I think that there could be an implication in that, because so far the redesign has not included a reopening of Park Row. So if we're excited about what they've done, it seems that we're happy with that. It doesn't show that we're on record as being, desiring for Park Road to reopen.
So
for
right
20
below,
years now.
well, and we actually have resolutions back to 2001 about Park Row. So we should actually note that it's not since 2022, Betty. We have resolutions. Park Row has been a topic of resolution since 2001.
Well, 2001 is so irrelevant today.
It is not.
It is.
Betty,
It is not,
Since 2022, the deal with it.
Betty, they closed the road after 9/11, and that is what precipitated the start of the entire arguments here at every point about Park Row. So if we're gonna say that we've been talking about Park Row, at least be honest to say that this goes back as far as this particular program for what they're doing started in 2022, but there were 2 other programs prior to that they also worked on. So if we're gonna try and do something, we can find a middle road to get consensus, ladies, to get consensus to bring everybody together so we can move this forward. I do not want to end up in the same place that we have been before, that we lose the baby with the bathwater because we're excluding people. There is a component of Chinatown and Lower Manhattan that still want to ensure that Park Row is being evaluated for reopening for private vehicles. That should be one line in here that says, we're excited about the work. We look forward to seeing the modeling and the inclusion of that information. And that's not going to change anything that we have in here. And it goes to what they've already presented.
It should be in the, there will be.
For a while.
Somebody say good for-
3 minutes to nine. Can I just remind people that Chinatown Connections, which is the traffic study, et cetera, that everybody is all getting excited about here, is different from the Chinatown Connections SIP, which is a street improvement plan, which is specifically done to do short-term, as in temporary art installations, focusing on safety and curb and daylighting and things like that. And it's not about the entire
Read-
traffic study,
Read
which is
this.
going to be
It says
presented.
traffic study.
The traffic study is going to be presented with Chinatown Connections in January.
But
The SIP is a different scope.
Rosa, the
People
title.
are conflating them together. They are not the same
Title
thing.
of the resolution
She's agreeing with the resolution.
is
See,
part.
let's just,
I know,
put
but
it,
she's-
vote,
yours is-
vote no, people who vote yes,
We
and
could
then we're
lose the
done.
whole
We
resolution.
could lose-
about it.
why we're here, otherwise we won't have a debate.
Yeah.
Correct. The title of this resolution is Park Road Traffic Study and Street Improvement Project Updates related to. It's got both in it. So since the traffic study is the traffic study and it encompasses about the reopening, there is no reason that we're not a little bit more descriptive when we're talking about the connections between the communities, to have it be very clear, to reiterate, that says that it includes an option, that we look forward to the information from the study that reviews the possibility of fully reopening Park Road to include vehicles beyond emergency and NYP.
Are you making a
That's our-
recommendation
Yes.
to the resolution?
History
Because
of
if we are, we should say that and do that and move on. So what are the, what
I
are
think
you
it doesn't
recommending?
change anything as long as we're talking about the traffic study in here.
So this is fine, we like it.
Well,
I think the mayor gets
The chair has to accept it or we have to
It
go.
took
No,
me
she
ready
doesn't
from
have
another
to accept it.
resolution.
She doesn't have to accept it. As long as it reflects the meeting of what happened in the meeting and people around who were at the committee agree, then we're fine.
Would it be another therefore be it resolved?
Yes.
Then you need a vote, then you need a motion, a vote.
I think I can settle this.
Mark.
Make a motion to use the language that you just said, adding a few more lines saying, as per CB1's longstanding position. So exactly what you just said, plus those few words. Make a
Second.
motion that's a therefore be it resolved, add it to the resolution.
Second.
And what exactly?
Please read that out.
so we can
understand that.
Whereas CB1 has a long standing position, and I'm gonna put since, and I'll find when we did that thing, I think it was 2002.
Yeah. Well, it's not whereas, because he's proposing as a.
Yeah, no, it is a therefore.
Support. All right. For a traffic study about reopening Park Row to
Well, the traffic study.
to all types of vehicles.
I know, well, they're going to do it.
Therefore be it resolved, where you have CB1 is excited to support EDC and the state and city agencies to redesign and beautify Park Row
and reconnect Community District 1 to Chinatown and surrounding communities as noted in the conditions set forth above. Before that, we can say, therefore be it resolved, CB1 is excited to see the results of the traffic study.
Not to say excited.
No, it's a chat. Which will
The results are in January. That's about.
Hold on.
Wow. CB1 is, I'm gonna use the word excited.
Just about.
To see the results of the traffic study, which will include opportunities for,
Francis, Wendy,
seriously,
can y'all hold it for a second? Thank you.
opportunities for potentially reopening Park Row to
Vehicular traffic.
vehicular traffic.
Well, it's private vehicle.
Longstanding.
Yeah.
I already said that once. Park Row to vehicles other than emergency and NYPD.
And buses.
And buses.
And fire.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, because they could potentially say, you know what? Private cars are okay, trucks are not.
Yeah.
They could say trucks are okay, private cars are not.
Got it.
There's other, okay, so that is what I read it out for the thing. Richard, are you calling a question?
No, I'm not calling a question.
What?
We have a lot of whereases here that describe various kinds of things that we have interest in, but the therefore be it resolved really is nothing. And I don't understand what this resolution is for. What are we actually asking for? We're telling them we're happy. That's not a resolution. I don't see the specifics of what we're asking for, and so I don't see the point.
So
This
in the
resolution
whereas,
level.
we did ask for the changes in the bus thing. And we asked for other, in some of the whereases. Are you suggesting that?
I'm suggesting that we need a resolution that asks for something or requests something. This doesn't do that.
The whereas,
So I don't know what this resolution does. And I can't vote for it because of that.
Even if you said, we emphasize the opening of Park Row, something, right?
I don't, something, what do we want?
I understand.
What are we asking for? And I don't see what we're asking.
well,
The whereas.
it's in the whereases about the
But
bus.
That's not a resolution.
Right.
That's not a resolution.
Right,
That's why I said
So
he's right.
all right, hold on. So there, stop. Jill, Mark, seriously. You guys are buzz killing me. All right, so what we could take that therefore be it resolved and put in and to fix the issues noted above, which would then take care of the bus island, which is the ask, and the safety measures that are an ask. The
That's
rumble
cool.
strips are in here. And the
That's
and
cool.
Right. So we are excited to support in the redesign and ask they address the issues noted
Good.
in the whereas.
Accomplishes the purpose.
So
All right. Let's get this out of there.
there's lots of, I'm sorry.
But it says it in the
It
whereas,
says lots of things. Which ones?
All of them.
the bus station,
So say it.
The stop.
Mobility on Park
right.
Road.
They're in all the.
I know, but his point is that no one reads the whereas, they only read the therefore be it resolved.
I see the point.
Resolved says.
We've done it before with
Hold
resolutions
on.
that are so complex and so specific that we don't want to repeat it.
Yes.
We do this,
Shush,
we did it with the resilience.
Jess Coleman, Justine Bucha, Wyatt. We're trying to get here to get a consensus. This is what we do. And ask that the address, if the issues noted in the whereas, including not limited to the bus island, speed calming for the bikes
Frankfurt Street,
and Frankfurt Street.
pedestrians going to Gotham Park. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. It's,
That's why I said including not limited to, which will force them to then go up and read.
Maybe.
well, there's already some.
Jeff?
Okay, I'd like to make a suggestion. So we're technically voting on Mark's resolution, which is to change the whereas that they're being resolved.
No, we did two, therefore be it
Yeah.
resolved.
Well,
One
add one.
specifically calls out the traffic study, and the other one specifically calls out the work that's being done in the SIP and the comments we had above.
Okay, I hear, the concerns have been raised about the whereas being too short in line of all be it resolved being short and perhaps not identifying enough all the stuff in the whereas, but as Jess has pointed out, we do that all the time. And I think if we, including in our liquor license approvals and whatnot, unless we want to be here until 9:30 or 10 tonight, honing the be it resolved, I think it's good enough the way you have it.
I think so too.
And I would
Thank you.
call for the- I would call for the vote.
Jeff, I would take that, that sounds like you've just gone. What?
It's a big conversation.
And maybe it's a lesson to us as we write the resolutions in the beginning.
Yeah.
But not to
I think
rewrite it.
that's a very
Yeah.
good point, Jeff, because I would agree with Richard's comment that the therefore be it resolved should be what you are resolving, and it is not written that way. And also on the liquor licenses, it should be identified. Now, I work very hard on resiliency ones to identify those conditions again, or succinctly, or in whatever way you want to summarize, but whereas can be a lot of them. Each favorite project.
Guys,
So,
called and it's been seconded. We have the adjustment. We have a second, therefore be it resolved that was added, one whereas, and the modification to the therefore be it resolved to reflect up that says, and ask they address the issues noted in the whereas, including but not limited to noted above the bus island speed calming for bikes and Frankfurt Street. Including but not limited to as noted.
Those separately, whether or not they're included?
No.
They're already there. We're not, it says including but not limited to, which then forces people to read up
Yeah.
versus being done at the bottom.
Love scrolling.
Okay.
No, but the other one.
What?
I don't agree with the other one. She doesn't want to add another therefore be resolved about the traffic calming.
So
So
CB one is,
don't we have a?
can you listen? Therefore be it resolved, CB one is excited to see the results of the traffic study, which will include opportunities for potentially reopening Park Road to vehicles other than emergency NYPD and buses. It does not say anything else. It says it's a traffic study. And we're excited to see, Rosa, are you talking to me or are you talking to Pam?
I feel like you're skipping the vote on whether or not that gets added into the resolution.
It's already there in the title. It says Park Road Traffic Study. So.
No, but
it
it's
is
changing as a test. I think we
So,
have to do the vote.
Sorry, we have to do two votes
Yes.
because he motioned and we seconded.
It's up to you, it's up to you.
No, we have we have a.
Eric, you are the parliamentarian.
It's up to you.
So we have a whereas that was added and a therefore be it resolved. Do you feel that we need to do a motion to add those?
We already have a motion on Amoruso's motion, and somebody was seconded,
Right.
sincerely seconded, not.
All right, so this is a vote to add those two things to the therefore be
And
it
the
resolved.
changes. Yes,
Okay,
that's what I was
fine.
asking.
So we're gonna go roll call because I can't trust everybody not to. So we're doing two roll calls on this.
Yes.
All right, this is
Wait.
This is a roll call to change.
a roll call to change the resolution.
Additional.
And it for additional language, which
Is included.
is already in here, but it calls out. I'm fine. Okay, go.
One second, I'm creating the. Okay, Amoruso,
Yes to my amendment.
yes to your own amendment. Blank,
Abstain.
wait.
Abstain. Blank abstains.
Brown Kennedy. Thank you. Cameron.
Cameron, yes.
Thank you. Cassell.
I can be left.
Okay.
Chang, no.
Thank you. Chapman.
Chapman, yes.
Thank you. Charcudian.
Left.
All right, Coleman.
No.
Corman.
Corman abstains.
Kucha.
Kucha, yes.
Thank you. Curtis.
Curtis, yes.
Thank you. Flores.
Flores, yes.
Thank you. Flynn abstains. Forsberg.
Forsberg abstains.
Thank you. Friedman.
Friedman, yes.
Thank you. Galloway.
Galloway, yes.
Thank you.
I wanna go home.
Goldstein.
Which takes me home.
Goldstein, yes.
Goodkind. Ershad? Thank you. James?
James, yes.
Thank you. Kay?
Okay, now.
Thank you. Lerner?
No, is that nod your head or say something?
Turner, yes.
Thank you.
Ryan? Cody?
No.
Yeah, thank you. Meltzer?
Yes.
Thank you. Minsley?
Minsley, yeah.
Thank you. Moore?
More, yes.
Thank you. India?
Yes.
Portia Corey?
Yes.
Thank you. Robinson?
Hi, sorry, yes, I couldn't turn on my microphone.
We got
This is Ushma Pandya.
Thank you. Cheer?
Yes.
We got guests?
Here, no.
Star?
I abstain.
Thanks.
Yes.
Verason? Yes. And.
Yes.
Townley?
I deeply apologize. I don't know, I couldn't follow the conversation, so. Staying.
Shane? You?
Yes.
Thank you. Zelter?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so we have 23 yeses, so it all works out. So now we're gonna do, a whole other vote.
Wait, is that?
Wait, 23 yeses, so this half.
Yeah, and we have, I didn't realize we had that many people here.
Yeah.
All right, Amoruso.
What is the resolution?
Yeah. Oh, do we need this thing where we talk about how we want to vote for it?
No.
No.
Now we know it's the whole thing.
It's the whole package together.
With the
All the love and gratitude that we have for the work that's being done. All the work.
Are we ready to call the question?
Yeah, and second, let's go.
All right, so call the question, second, Justine.
All right, Amoruso.
I'm not very excited, no.
Oh,
Seriously?
See, voted.
Hey. All right, next
I
up.
don't believe in all the other stuff.
Blank.
Blank.
All the other pieces.
Brown Kennedy. Thank you. Cameron.
Cameron, yes.
Thank you. Chang.
Chang, no.
Thank you. Chapman.
Chapman, yes.
You know, we won't get the
Thank
bus
you.
stop fixed.
Charcuterie.
We won't get the traffic.
He's gone.
I can't hear Charcuterie not saying anything.
Is that what we done?
No.
Thank you. Corbin.
No.
Thank you. Kucha.
Yes, I understand.
Thank you.
Cut the nose.
Curtis.
Curtis, yes.
Thank you.
I just want you to.
Flores.
Understand.
Jill.
Thank you. Oh, Flynn, yes. Forsberg.
Abstain.
Abstain. Thank you. Friedman.
It's right now.
Not here.
Friedman's here, and he says yes.
Okay. I kind of thought you would walk away from all this. Galloway.
Galloway, yes.
Thank you. Goldstein.
Goldstein, yes.
Thank you. Goodkind. Thank you. Rashad. Thank you. James.
James, yes.
Thank you. Kay.
Okay, no.
Thank you. Capel. Oh, he's not here, sorry. I'm beyond the black bar. Lerner.
Turner, yes.
Thank you. Lyon.
No.
Thank you. Meltzer.
Yes.
Thank you. Bensley. Thank
Moore,
you.
yes.
Moore, yes. And you.
Yes.
Thank you. Portia Corey. Thank you. Robinson.
Robinson, yes.
Thank you. Shear. Abstain. Thank you. Star.
Abstain.
Thank you. Sung.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you. Townley.
Same.
Thank you. You,
Yes.
thank you. Seltzer,
Yes.
thank you. Okay.
Hernandez.
You skipped me, but I'm going yes. Hernandez.
Did I skip with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them I voted yes.
Okay, so you can finish. Okay, with that, 9:14, motion to adjourn.
Happy
New Year.
Yeah.
Everybody stay safe out there, please, and remember that Lucy does not do cleaning service.
Also, any suggestions for restaurants for our holiday gathering?
Thank you, everybody online. Feel well.
Lonnie Stone.
Happy
Lonnie Stone.
Can you kill it?
The one, yeah, the one by next to one of the people.